Hello, everyone. We've got this thing blocking us. I don't know why that is. Welcome to Comic Book Late Night Unlimited. It's me, Captain Logan, and joining me once again is my buddy Chris.
Hello.
Chris, 3 shows in a row, man.
I know, yeah.
That makes like a pattern.
Exactly, yeah.
I can't believe you're here again.
I'm gonna, one day I'm not gonna be here, and everybody's like, did it finally happen? Is Chris buried somewhere now?
Oh, I thought you were going to say, and then okay, I guess that was the last episode of this show.
I mean, yeah.
Nobody cares anymore. There is no Chris.
Oh.
I was telling you off camera, our viewership has increased on this show ever since you came on, and I just don't know if there's a correlation.
I mean,
this is a causation-correlation question.
If
I'm
there
not sure.
is, I'm happy to help. Yeah.
Nicholas Bodo is trying to make this a thing, Chris. You're watching Comic Book Late Night, turn out the lights. Like, he's trying to make it a thing.
I guess so. Gotta set the mood, Bring it down a bit.
So, I bought a decent amount last week. We'll get to those later. Last week was a big week compared to the week before.
Yeah.
And then I ended up going back to the comic shop after I got a little bit more birthday money in the mail.
Yeah.
And I bought a few more things.
Right,
so I have a
right.
decent stack this week. It won't be anything like the week before when I went on vacation and I bought like 40 books. You remember that?
Oh, yes, I do.
And Chris brought a couple things too.
Yeah, just a few things. Just a handful.
Finally, Chris had to come and prove to us that he's been to a comic shop.
I know.
And you can tell because of the brown paper bag. If it was a different shape, we might assume other things were in a brown paper bag.
Yeah, this is Comic Book Late Night, just saying.
Hilariously, you might see Chris holding a similar bag somewhere in our film.
Spoiler alerts here.
That's all I'm gonna say. Let me talk about that for real briefly and say Superhero Rewind the movie releases next Friday, Chris.
Whew.
August the 29th.
Yeah.
We're all sweating in our collective pajamas, but we're hoping that folks really enjoy it. We are showing it for the local premiere this Saturday, and then next Tuesday we're doing a special online preview for some folks that donated for the project. And Chris, without giving anything about the movie away, tell us about the movie.
Have you heard of this thing called Superhero Rewind? But what if there was a movie?
Yeah.
But what?
That's pretty good.
Now,
that's exactly what it is.
A little bit more detail. What if 90% cinema was comic book movies? And what if a decent chunk of them were not good?
Well, that's like the world we live in now.
Just imagine this hypothetical scenario here.
This is like an Elseworlds book that's just mainstream continuity.
You open up the comic, it's just a mirror.
It's like the opposite of Absolute. It's like the opposite of the Nothingiverse. Where
Exactly.
It's like, what if it's Batman, but it's exactly the same? It's like Batman's got like a butler and a car, and okay, so
get this, he's got a cave now.
His parents died this time, both of them. And you're like,
even at the zoo.
Oh,
not even at the zoo.
And you're like, okay, so it's Batman.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, Chris, would you... Man, I wish I had you here the other day when I did the update for the movie. I wish that was just me and you talking.
Yeah.
Could you tell folks... because I'm really glad... Let me say this real quick. I'm really glad that we've got you on the show, and some of our viewers will be introduced to you.
Right.
Listen to you talk for a while before you show up and have your cameos in the movie.
My monologues in the movie, too.
That is not true.
Yeah, no, I'm just here.
Chris doesn't have a major role in the movie, but he is there.
Yeah.
And it will look like a cool, channel cameo thing now, as opposed to just, who the hell is that guy?
Just some random dude just, looking at,
Now, anybody that's watched the show, anybody that's watched the channel for a long time that doesn't care about new comics will still be like, who the hell is that guy?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But tell everybody just real briefly before we get into comics.
Yeah.
What you did on the movie.
I did a lot behind the scenes stuff,
because Chris was part of the main crew and was there with us from the very beginning of this thing.
Basically a little bit of everything too, if there's a scene where the camera is real shaky, that's his hand right here, But held like the boom mic, basically little red dialogue when actors were here and just doing stuff off screen.
Sometimes that slowed the process down because Chris does the most amusing Dooms Vince impression. Oh my god. We couldn't get through a scene. We had to put an embargo on Chris for reading Dooms Vince.
I wanted just to be true to the role. And here's the thing. Vince is amazing in the movie. I just wanted to try and at least get close to that energy that he brings. That was my goal.
I can't wait for you guys to see Vince in it.
Yeah, no, I mean, Vince is amazing in it. And, but yeah, basically just whatever we kind of needed to do. It was a very, very tight crew, just like 4 people, the whole thing. So we all just had to wear whatever hats were handed to us and whatever hats we needed to, and I think it worked out.
To be fair, we had more help on some of the location shoots.
Yeah.
Like Connor came down.
Yeah, Connor and Connor and Jason basically beat out like that whole fight too, just sort of run that whole thing, and of course too, like the location shoots were amazing because the farm where we filmed, the big. I'm like really hesitant. Like, what do I?
Like, what can we say? Yeah,
exactly.
We shot a fight out on some farmland.
Yeah, basically. I mean, we're basically the Ninja Turtles. Every so often, we have to go to a farmhouse. That's just what we do.
That makes me wish I had a Northampton section.
Exactly. But yeah, and even like when we went to Lawrence and saw shot some of the stuff there too. And again, I think we've seen like the clips of the wall.
Yeah, yes. It's in the trailers.
Okay, so yeah, we know exactly that.
Oh yeah, because you helped build a set. Or like dress a set. We didn't actually build anything for this.
Yeah.
Which is weird. I built stuff for Spawn here.
Yeah.
This we redressed some things, but it's all location shooting.
Right. I mean, that room where we filmed it basically still looks roughly the same as it did back in like 1996, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But we had to do a lot of dressing on it.
Yeah. But yeah, so whatever we just kind of needed to do, it was you, me, Jason, Brandon, like 4 people. One of them is like your child. And who was amazing too, like basically he was
Jason's baby as much as mine. He helped come up with the concept to break the initial story and all of that.
Yeah, and I think you even kind of pointed out too how, again,
3 years ago now,
and also too the title is sort of like a triple entendre a little bit too.
Yeah, I have mentioned that on the channel.
I mean, it's just amazing too because there's time travel involved, but it's also the superhero rewind movie. But again, it's about going back to like before superheroes were a concept too in general, and so there's just a lot when you think about the movie. You just kind of appreciate that a little bit more too. And again, like, the comic coffee house too was just, it was one of those things. Oh, have we mentioned that on the?
I don't know if we have, but I'm supposed to give them some press, so that's cool. I need to put out some posts about that this week.
If you are ever in the Olathe, Kansas
Thanks for
area.
reminding me, by the way. No, Chris found us this place, and so we got to actually shoot in a comic-themed coffee shop. It was just, there was a lot of kismet with this thing.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of stuff that fell into place, even just shots where we were doing some like the outdoor shots with the propaganda posters, and the wind was perfect, and some of them get blown off the fence at just like the right moment, and even like stuff that broke at like the right time.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, and even when like
we broke some crap.
Yeah, that's
fun.
The thing. It was.
I almost wish we broke more crap. In fact, there was more crap breaking in the script that we didn't do. I don't know if you know about that.
Like, well, did you want to break otherwise, too?
Well, there's a place where there's supposed to be like a glass that gets slammed to the ground. Like, there's some other stuff that we just didn't end up doing.
Well, also there's that monitor too. That computer monitor.
Don't give everything away.
Sorry, yep.
He's giving everything away.
I'm stopping right there.
Anyway,
I didn't read my NDA.
So
I'm sorry.
There's stuff we broke, and we shot in some locations. And and if you're in the area, you should go to the Comic Coffee House. They're wonderful. We shot there. The owner's daughter is in the movie. She's amazing.
The owner's in the movie too.
She plays a barista. He has a cameo in the movie, and that is where we're having the premiere too. On Saturday, they're hosting us there, so it's gonna be pretty neat. Dan Schneider, will we get any cameos from people no longer on the channel? That's a big no. well, there's one person who would be on the channel more often if he had time that is in the movie that you haven't seen in a while, but that's about it.
Right. I mean, there aren't really. I don't think there's any real massive surprises that
Not with that.
No.
Not with that. So sorry to disappoint with that, but I'll just tell you up front.
Right.
There won't really be any of that. There are a couple people that like pop in and out every now and again that you don't see a lot that'll show up. Kind of people like Chris that some of you guys will be familiar with and some of you won't.
Yeah.
But anyway, we should go ahead and get into comics. I just wanted to remind everybody that that's coming, and we're real excited about it, and to let you guys know just how involved Chris was with that, because he's part of the core four that made this thing, and you haven't even seen the complete cut yet.
Probably not. No, like I've
probably shown you most everything in pieces, because I showed you guys a rough cut a few months ago when the score wasn't even done. And I think the majority of the rest of that score you've maybe heard now.
Little bits and pieces too. Like there's been a lot that you've said you have to hear this because it's amazing, and of course it was amazing too. So, I mean that's the one thing too that really sticks out to me about this movie is just, apart from obviously a lot of the work that I know firsthand went into it, a lot that I've seen, we would get the score and it would be like, no human made this. No, actually, yes, a human did make this.
It's not AI. Don't say that.
Please.
He's just wondering how it's possible.
Yeah, no, it's like, how did somebody
in his
create
house
this
that we're not paying?
Yeah.
Put that together for us. And I know I've been talking up Wendell a lot, but Wendell Jones is just a tour de force composer.
And it's just amazing because I know you'd said...
And it elevates the whole thing by 4 times.
And I knew you were...
And I can't wait for you guys, even after the movie, to hear the soundtrack on its own.
Yeah.
Because, it's real listenable as its own thing, just like some of your favorite movie scores. I'll go that far. And it is over an hour and a half's worth of music.
Yeah. And the biggest thing, too, to me, is that he makes it look so easy. Like, you would say, hey, can I have this with a little bit of this?
And he's so damn fast.
Yeah. And he was just like, oh, okay. Apparently this is a keyboard now. This is my keyboard cat impression.
I asked him for one extra thing. A couple of extra things for one scene last week, where I was trying to figure out how to fix some pacing in a place, and I thought we were totally done, and I was like, if Wendell's got time and he's willing to, I think this would be a really good idea. Yeah. And I messaged him, and, it's real late notice, like the thing comes out, next week, but I've got to have it ready by Saturday. And this was like last Wednesday, Thursday, and he got me the first part of it that day, and it's amazing. And the second part of it he finished. He sent me a draft, and I asked him to change some things, which is funny because it's the only thing I asked him to change on the entire thing, and it was like this light thing. Yeah. And he gave me the rest of it yesterday. Yeah, and it's some of the best stuff in the movie. And anyway, so I'm really excited about it. Dan's Den, the score is the thing I'm looking forward to most about the film. That's good. This is a case where if the only positive thing people have to say about is the score, I'm not gonna feel so bad.
Right.
Because that happens a lot where people are looking for a positive, and all they can say is, "Well, the music was
the music's good." Yeah.
If that happens with this.
This movie was great if you didn't look at it or listen to the dialogue.
I'll be slightly disappointed,
right?
But Wendell is so good. I'll take that.
Yeah, and I will say too that when
I think you guys will have a good time with it.
I know we're close to the project. I know we've seen a lot of what we put into it personally, but again, I think it's just because that the score seemingly came out of nowhere and was so amazing. That's one thing that kind of sticks out to me, and that's just because here we are, we're on location, we're filming, we're putting in the work, we're getting tired, And then all of a sudden, Wendell makes us look so easy too.
Oh yeah, because we're just like killing ourselves.
Yeah.
Like busting our ass, and it takes us a year to shoot the thing.
And he's like, "Here's my masterpiece. It took me 2 minutes."
Yeah, and he didn't past the initial suite he wrote for us before we filmed anything. He started it after we had a lot shot.
Right.
Anyway, let's go ahead and get into comics. But thank you guys for indulging us with that. And Chris, I can't wait for us to all watch the whole thing on Saturday. And I'm excited for the Tuesday thing for folks that are going to be able to make that. And anyway, so let's go ahead and find out what's coming out tomorrow.
All right.
As always, let me mention how this thing works real quick. If you want a shot at picking the next miniseries or graphic novel, a recent comic, or first arc of a series, recent stuff within the last 3 years, you can leave a super chat at any dollar amount, and we'll talk about whatever related to comics you want us to talk about in that super chat. But that will also give you a chance at getting to pick the next thing we review, and whoever is the top super chatter tonight collectively, so you can leave multiples if you want to, will get to pick that. As always, no pressure. Don't feel like you have to do that. We appreciate you just being here and interacting with us and hanging out. But that is how we pick each thing. And I know what I'm going to pick if we get no super chats tonight, but I'm not going to mention it because there might be somebody that really wants that thing and would leave a super chat, but now they don't have to.
Exactly. Yeah.
You see, so I'm not going to do that. Although they would also, if other people leave super chats, have to fight over like getting to pick the thing that I was going to pick. It gets very complicated.
If there's somebody who really doesn't want us to talk about whatever for whatever reason.
That's true too. Yes, indeed. Nicholas Bodo hanging out is why I'm here. Well, I'm glad you're here. Once again, Nicholas Bodo. Killer Moth, I guess if your last name is Jones, you'll just be a good musician. Okay.
Fair.
Let's find out what's going on.
R.P. Quincy.
Tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow.
Yes.
And I love doing the show, by the way, because I don't look ahead of time to find out what's coming out tomorrow, so I get to do that on the show, and then I just get so stoked to go to the comic shop. Like, I look forward to this whole thing every week now. This is turning into one of, if not my favorite things to do on the... I don't want to say my favorite thing to do on the channel, because then that will hurt Austin's feelings, because he does like 3 regular shows with me. So I don't want to say
Take
that.
it, Austin. He's in the chat, isn't he?
I'm also just on a high right now with new comics, getting back into this, so there is a newness to this whole thing.
Yeah. I mean, there's, especially since there's...
But I do plan to keep this going. I really enjoy it.
And there's so much that is amazing that's out there, too. And there's so much that...
It's a good time to get back in.
It's a real good time to get back in comics, too.
Yep. Maybe not with the price points, but it is a good time to get back in. And if you're not a big singles person like me, there are cheaper ways to read and keep up than there ever have been. So there is that. It is irritating... that we've inflated things up to $5 and beyond much of the time. There's still some $4 books out there. But on the other hand, trades are cheaper than they've been. At least first trade out. I'm noticing that you are getting a discount if you read at least the first arc of things in trade next to the singles, because singles are averaging about $4.50 to $5 right now. I'm saying average, so like most books are $5 now. Like I said, there are still some $4s. But if you buy the first trade, let's say it's 7 issues of something, I'm seeing a lot of $20 covers right now. Which is really nice. It didn't used to be like that.
I wonder.
And Image will even go less than that sometimes.
Yeah, and at least for like,
or at least they were a few years ago. I don't know if that's still true.
Yeah. Well, I know, like, at least with Marvel and DC, I wonder how much the apps have to do with that too, because you could buy like the actual like collected editions and have like a physical copy, or you could pay your like $9.99 a month and get everything all in one place. And
it actually allows you to keep up and read everything you want to if you don't mind waiting 3 to 6 months.
And
but there was no way to do that 10 years ago.
No, I mean, even with like Comixology too, you didn't have like the subscription services you have now. You used to have a subscription, so I don't know how they do it now. I haven't looked into Comixology in forever. And really not since Amazon bought them. Like, I don't really know what they do now, and that was years ago now. I mean, but they are there. I just said like the word there like
Well,
five
what I was
times
going
in
to
a
say is,
row.
what I was going to say is, when I started reading digital finally,
Yeah.
I got a subscription, and I jump my subscriptions around now, just depending on what I'm like actually keeping up with.
Yeah.
But Comixology had a subscription, but it was really limited what you could read for free and what you had to pay for.
Yeah,
so
it was usually like the first couple issues. Too,
they were they were cheaper, but they were really limited with their access. And
Yeah.
then when
a lot of it was just to get you to keep reading too. Like, hey, first it's free. You get, like, the first couple episodes or
but I don't
issues,
like that when you're paying a subscription.
Yeah.
So I didn't love them, and then but there was some good stuff there. It's just they were really limited in what they let you have. It was a little bit more like a Netflix or something. In like cycling stuff in and out.
Right.
And then with when DC Universe started and they added their comic section, they had a better model. And then Marvel stepped up after that, and their model got a little bit better than it was. And then they started both of them offering new within like 6 months. And now you can pay slightly more. I think both of them do this, maybe.
Yeah.
I haven't done Marvel in a while, but I think you can still pay like slightly more for both of those and get it within 3 months. I know DC does that. I'm not sure what Marvel's doing.
I'll have to double check too, because I think Marvel will give you like the 3 months just with the base subscription. I think I'll double check too, because
that's good. Yeah.
Nobody
does it day and date though.
Yeah, no. Well, I think when the DC
But that's
app,
understandable. Now, I don't think the day and date like same price for buying digital should be there. I don't think that should have ever been there.
Right.
I think that really should be gone now.
Yeah.
And I wanted to ask you about this today because I had a conversation with my wife about this the other day.
Yeah.
The argument has always been, and I don't know if this is just a line or if they really believe this.
Right.
All the companies, but like especially Comixology, because it started with that.
Yeah.
The argument has always been, if we charge less on the day for buying digital, and I have to say buying in air quotes.
Yeah.
When you're buying digital.
Buying as long as they let you have it.
It will close comic shops. And I don't think that's true.
I don't think so either, because
I understand the worry of that like a decade ago. I don't think it's true. I think the collector market and the reader market is so different.
Yeah.
And I think like people that buy singles don't necessarily not read them. I don't mean that. There are certainly collectors that will read their books when they get them, and that's how they want them. But I'm telling you, most people that just want to read in digital are the same kind of market as the people that will wait for trade. I don't think they're day and date people.
Yeah, and there's also a lot more.
I want to see the sales numbers for what the digital actually sells on the day for people that just have to have it right now. And I know Austin works that way. I think he's in the minority. I think most people that want to read in singles, that have to do it that way, unless there's just like a few titles they read.
Right.
I think most people that have to have singles the day it comes out are collectors.
Yeah.
And not digital comic readers. I think digital people will wait, just like trade readers will wait. Am I wrong?
Yeah, here's the thing with like digital comics too is, well, also from the beginning people were saying like, oh, this is gonna kill shops. Brick and mortar is dead now. No one's gonna want. But there's a lot more with comic shops than just like occasionally popping in and getting a book and leaving. There's community. There's getting out there and looking through, seeing what's out there. Physical media. I mean, there's a lot of folks who, even today, we're actually seeing a lot of folks going back to DVDs, Blu-rays. I think there's a lot of factors that go into it.
Yeah, that's true too.
The impression I've always got.
I just want to know what the percentage is. I don't know if it would close shops.
Yeah, and like
because if that were true, wouldn't you think that trades would have already shut down the singles?
Yeah, you would think like Barnes and Noble will have wiped out like the comics for the singles market too.
Yeah, or that the only comic shops that would make it would be trade stores.
Yeah, and also too,
so that everybody would have to pivot to trades. I don't know.
Yeah, and also too, like I would be interested in talking to folks who just do exclusively digital, because I want to know where their shops are, if they have shops in their area too. Like, I live in an area that doesn't necessarily have a lot of like readily accessible shops anymore. Like, my nearest one is probably like the vintage stock half an hour away. Now, around where I work, there's a lot of options, too. Like, the actual Kansas City proper, if you go to one way, you go downtown, or you go to North Kansas City, or if you go a little bit further, you get to Johnson County. So there's folks who might not have that as easily accessible. I wonder, like, how much of the folks who get makes up the... Because, I mean,
absolutely, but that's more fuel for my fire that it wouldn't close stores down.
I mean...
If anything, if stores would open in those places that are underserved, those people might enjoy going to buy the singles if they're willing to spend that much in the first place.
And I think...
But, I don't get $5 for a digital issue that might not be there forever.
Yeah.
I can't bring myself to do that.
You know what I think?
I'm going to either have a subscription service and wait, or I'm going to buy what I think is overpriced singles to at least still physically have them.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, Chris, what drives the singles market is still, to this day, what blew up the industry in 1996.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. It's still the speculator market.
Yeah.
And there are people that buy singles for lots of different reasons. There are cover buyers like me, where it's just they want pretty stuff in their boxes and on their shelves.
Exactly.
There are people that are hoping that they'll wind up with a variant that ends up going big later on. There's
sketch covers now too.
Yeah,
you want something to give to an artist,
and I love that. I buy those.
Yeah.
There's the kind of gambling aspect of it that for me is way more fun than a casino, because I don't buy. We talked last time quite a bit about buying as an investment.
Yeah.
And I was talking about how I've kind of danced around the idea of, and I've talked to my wife about this now, and she's not against it, about doing that for fun with some like high dollar Silver Age stuff that will probably either stay at value or go up in value. I would never engage in the stupid speculator thing.
Right.
But there is kind of a fun gamble where you go, that's pretty, I'd like to have that, and I don't know, maybe it'll go up in value, and it would be cool if that happened. I don't even plan to sell it. It's it's fun to look at your values and go, oh hey, I've got this thing that when I bought it was worth $5, now it's worth $100. I'm not planning on selling it. It's just fun bragging rights.
Well, even like a lot of folks who do play like the CGC game too, they always have, at least in my experience, they have their actual marketable books, but they also have like their PC, their private collection.
Yeah.
So it's like, I bought 10 books, I'm going to sell 9 of them. This one I'm going to put on my mantle. Now, I did want to say too that another thing with digital comics, the reason why.
But sorry, just real quick, not to. I just don't want to rush past that point yet.
Yeah.
But do you agree with me that the main thing that drives singles is still collectability?
Yes, I believe
it's
so.
not readers.
Yeah, and here's the thing too.
I'm saying not the main thing, but I want to. That's what I think.
Right.
I want to see the numbers. I don't know if they're available.
Yeah.
On how much Comixology, etc., is actually making on day and date digital singles. I want to know how many people are buying.
And the one thing too that I've noticed a lot of shops are doing now is I've seen bagging and boarding more often than I ever used to way back in the day too. Like most shops will just automatically.
You know why?
Why's that?
Because too many, and again, fuel for my fire.
Yeah.
Too many people are buying singles, hoping that they get a thing that will turn into a grail,
right,
or whatever you want to call it,
that'll
go up in value, that they can keep it in, that they can send to CGC and maybe get a 9.8. That's why they're doing it. Everybody's hoping for the 9.8.
Yes. And like I didn't realize like until just like a couple years ago how hard it is to actually get a 9.8.
It's really hard to get a 9.8.
And like
and we've talked about the kind of like, I don't want to say sketchiness, but the unpredictability of CGC and how it's hard to fully trust some of that. It seems so arbitrary what counts for a 9.8, because I have heard people that are way into that, and I'm not. I talk about the things that you can get away with having on your book that won't ding you, that will still get you to a 9.8, and then I've seen what I think are obviously pristine books. I can't find a blemish in it that will get a 9.2, and I'm like, why?
And a lot of it comes down to just whoever's looking at the book that day too.
We talked about this last week.
And I mean,
this wouldn't be practical. There should be 3 to 4 eyes on it.
Exactly,
There should be one guy that gets to do that.
Exactly, yeah. You ever watch that show Pete? Ever watch that growing up?
No, I know what that is.
Yeah,
I saw commercials for it. But...
Yeah, I just think of the one episode where...
that was Nickelodeon, right?
Nickelodeon,
See, I wasn't a Nickelodeon guy.
On...
Are you with me? Because I started to bring this up last night on the Space Ghost stream I did, and I actually never finished this point.
Right.
Do you agree with me that Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network were like Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis? Like... You were in one camp or you were in the other? Like
kinda, yeah, but like
now I had both with Genesis and Super Nintendo.
Right.
I watched Cartoon Network. I hardly ever watched Nickelodeon, and I feel like I knew a lot of Nickelodeon kids that didn't watch Cartoon Network.
Here's like the thing: I grew up with just Nickelodeon. Like Cartoon Network, I didn't get until I was in like middle school. Now, whenever I'd go visit like relatives who lived in like the Carolinas,
the same was true for me. I guess I didn't watch. I guess before that it was Fox Kids.
Yeah. Fox Kids for sure. I would probably say even with that too. Like I was always more of a Fox Kids guy.
Me too.
But
I pivoted to Cartoon Network, where I was looking at both by 10 or 11.
It's like that deleted scene from Pulp Fiction where they're like, you're either an Elvis guy or a Beatles guy, and like Beatles folks can like Elvis and Elvis folks can like the Beatles, but you're like one more than the other. I think it was like that with Fox Kids and Nickelodeon, and even kind of the same thing with like Cartoon Network too, and probably the Disney Channel as well.
That's true too. But anyway, what are you gonna say about Pete and Pete? You're right. There were too many choices.
Right.
I guess for me to make the Super Nintendo analogy.
Yeah.
So I guess maybe it's not quite that.
Well, it still kind of was, especially since those were if you were in like the boonies like I was. But yeah, you had like the two options, and one of them had Batman. Mm-hmm. And one of them had the Power Rangers.
Because a lot of Fox was syndicated.
Yeah, and a lot of Fox was syndicated. Nickelodeon
and a lot of stuff that was syndicated would show up on local Fox channels.
Yeah.
So Fox channels would get TNG, but TNG was not a network show, and so it wasn't a Fox show. But if you were a kid watching Star Trek, you would just assume, depending on the region you lived in, that Star Trek was a Fox show. But it wasn't.
Right, and it was funny too because like Fox would also show stuff like every day, like Power Rangers every day after school. You could go in 3 o'clock, like, all right, I'm here. Give me my Megazord. And also, like, Nickelodeon was a little, like, I don't want to say spottier, but even though I watched, like, all those Nicktoons, there's only really, like, 1 or 2 that I really got invested in, and there was only, like, a lot of the Nickelodeon stuff was just during, like, Saturday night, you watch Snick. So I feel like Fox News was something you could just, like, pick up and watch anything, or at least that I could, that anything I could watch on it was probably going to be good, that I'll probably enjoy. Nickelodeon, I felt like you had to be a little bit more discerning about. You had to
a lot more hit and miss.
Yeah, you had to actually almost like schedule it too. Like,
but they both had a bit of a house style.
Yeah. Well, Nickelodeon, I mean, is credited with bringing back the wild idea of cartoons made by cartoonists. With a lot of, I mean, you had like Doug and Rugrats and Ren and Stimpy, and then from there, Rocko's Modern Life that led to like SpongeBob and. Eventually, then you had like Avatar: The Last Airbender, which is a masterpiece,
Yeah. But then you look at Cartoon Network, and it all kind of starts with Tartakovsky and with McCracken, and so the same thing you're talking about happens there, where you get Dexter and then Powerpuff Girls, and everything spins off from that stuff.
Yeah, and it's funny because there's almost 2 tracks. I
know Powerpuff Girls was later as far as the series goes.
Yeah.
But McCracken was a architect with Cartoon with that initial Powerpuff Girls.
Right.
And he was a storyboard artist for McCracken on his shows.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know how we segued into this.
Yeah, exactly.
But what was the Pete and Pete thing you were going to mention?
Oh, just there's an episode where he goes and he has like a duel with the guy who inspects his underwear. And the point is to prove that he's not as perfect as he thinks. And it has like my favorite ending of like pretty much any media ever, where the challenge is like, all right, you have to eat this plate of ribs and you have to do it perfectly. So the guy gets like a knife, fork, cuts to the end. You see clean plate, not a drop of barbecue sauce on him. And it's like, you failed. Ribs are supposed to be messy. It's like, I love that, like, trick, that, like, trap you set for him. That clever ploy, little Pete.
Hey, would you mind scooting up
Yeah.
here so that I'm not, like, half turned around?
Oh, yeah, you're good.
I'm
No,
looking over at you. I'm realizing I'm doing that, and that's distracting.
Yeah.
Anyway, Killer Moth Returns had a comment I wanted to read, going back to the collector's market. I think he says it's definitely a collector's market. That's why there's been so many re-releases of Batman and Superman's first appearances recently. Well, and everything. We're seeing
a lot of digest size stuff too, like a lot of Long Halloweens and Dark Knight Returns.
That too. But what I was going to say is we've been having all those facsimiles. That's been real popular. I've started getting into that. I've got one this week, and then I never thought I would do that. And then I'm getting the bug with that. I'm getting why that's cool. And then the digest thing, like you're talking about, are you talking about like the manga-sized ones?
Yes.
That's gotten really popular. DC did it right. Marvel screwed it up just like with everything else lately, or at least with a lot of things lately.
Right.
And anyway, and like a lot of things have been coming back into print that we haven't seen in a while. Yada yada. But anyway,
Alan Moore's still not going to get those watch rights back. Sorry, man.
It's never going to happen.
Yeah.
Nicholas Bodo, random question, Captain Chris, but have you read any Martian Manhunter stories aside from Absolute Martian Manhunter? I've never read much solo Martian Manhunter.
Yeah.
Like I've got a couple of stray issues, and I don't even know what runs they're from. I don't remember, but I don't know that I've like sat down and read like a whole arc of a Martian Manhunter run, and I don't know that there really is like that definitive Martian Manhunter run.
Yeah, here's the thing with like Martian Manhunter is he's one of those characters.
But maybe you know of something I don't.
No, I mean honestly too, I've liked stuff that he's shown up in. Unfortunately, when I think about stuff that my like the first Martian Manhunter story that I can think of when I think of books I enjoy with Martian Manhunter is like, hey, he got killed at like the first page of Final Crisis.
Yeah.
And
that's true.
Yeah, but he's one of those characters that always just I don't dislike when he shows up. Hey, he's in Sandman, that's great, that's
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, I mean,
no, I theoretically love him.
Yeah.
Like I want to be a Martian Manhunter fan.
Right.
I haven't read enough just solo Martian, so I don't know if there's that great story.
Yeah, and like
I can't even tell you what major creators have done him solo.
Yeah.
Like, are there more than 2 or 3 volumes of solo Martian Manhunter? Like, I feel like there's more Birds of Prey than there is Martian Manhunter.
There's more Hawkman than there's Martian Manhunter.
Yeah. I would need to research this and see what there is. Like, he wasn't even one of the New 52 by himself.
Yeah, he was in like Stormwatch, which
that's
is
right.
such like a random thing to put him in, but he's part of the Authority now, I guess. Wow.
So it was shocking that he was one of the initial 5 books for Absolute.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, but that is such like, I think that had to be a concept.
Oh, Ostrander did a run.
Oh,
then we'll have to read that. I didn't know that.
Didn't either. No, like, look,
Schneider
I've read Suicide Squad a few times.
Schneider says we need to read the John Ostrander run. It's a beloved run of the character. See, this is how little I know.
Yeah.
I was not aware of that. So I'm gonna assume that's 90s probably.
Either that or 80s, like late 80s or something.
Well, yeah, but he was writing so much stuff that I don't know that he was also doing Martian Manhunter in the 80s, but maybe
it's possible too.
We'll have to look that up. Crazy.
I mean, it's funny because
we are turning in our geek cards here. I did not know that.
Exactly. I'm sorry,
but
John,
again, half the point of this show is to learn stuff. Like I don't just do this to show off like what I know. I do this to catch back up and learn more about comics because I have not been in this game for so long.
Yeah. Well, also too, like there's so
99. Oh,
wow,
now that you say that, I know what those covers look like. I just didn't realize that was him.
Well,
yeah, that's the one I have an issue or 2 of.
I do. There you go. Hey, it's
yeah. Yep, I know. I mean, not just what you're talking about, but I know what those look like. We'll get to new books here in a second, folks.
Yeah. let's just relive our 90s dream here. Let's talk about those JLA books of Morrison, the Rock of Ages.
Yeah, okay. I own one issue from that run, and it's just random. I own 29, but yeah, it's Ostrander.
Oh,
and
wow.
This is from '01, so he was on that for a good long time.
That is a 90s cover. That is
yes,
late 90s, early 2000s.
I don't know if you guys can see this, but yeah. Anyways,
is that colored by liquid? Is that?
Austin, his run has the bit where he shapeshifts his brain in the shape of the Joker's. Oh, I've heard about this. I didn't know that's where that was. Where he can experience that insanity. Okay, well, we gotta read that.
Yeah.
I might pick that for us, Austin, at some point on our show. Okay, are you ready to find out what comes out tomorrow?
I'm down.
Or are you just chomping at the bit?
I am chomping at the bit.
He is chomping at the bit. This is not what I want to show you right now.
Hey, by the way, see our movie.
We're just advertising our movie again. Look forward to that. No, this is what we want to look at. Here we go. Tomorrow, we've got Absolute Batman number 11. Somebody asked us if we were, and I think called us jokers or something, if we're excited about Absolute Batman number 11. Yeah, I can't wait to find out what happens after that insane cliffhanger. And, the random year leap forward and all of that. Are you caught up?
I'm not caught up yet. I'm not caught up on anything, to be fair.
I'm sorry. I'm giving stuff away.
No, I know kind of what happens, and I know that that Absolute Bane shows up.
And we finally get the origin for Absolute Bane here.
Yeah,
that's exciting.
And considering how dummy thick Absolute Batman is, and just how...
Oh, yeah.
I've called this series the Ripping Friends before.
Well, we don't have to get back into everything with Absolute Batman. I was just wondering if you'd read this, the last couple issues.
Yeah, I'm behind on everything, too. I'm perpetually behind.
No, it's nuts. And, the prisons that, like, Bane's got Bruce in a prison, and there's, like, weird, gross stuff that happens. Like, it's really good, but it's nuts. Like...
I mean, Snyder is not afraid to do, like, weird,
I don't know if I would let
nasty horror stuff too.
Jason is 15. I don't know if I'd let him read it.
Yeah,
it's wild.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say something that might sound rude or mean or something, but that is the fattest Bane I've ever seen. Look at that.
That is
like muscle-bound behemoth. Yeah, but when he sits down in a chair, he just looks like he's been eating Pop-Tarts. I don't know.
Don't we all deserve to eat Pop-Tarts after breaking a guy's back?
You know, Bane has earned his Pop-Tarts.
He earned his Pop-Tarts.
Absolutely. Speaking of Absolute Flash, the 6th issue of that comes out tomorrow.
Oh, wow.
And I'm not gonna give away any of my thoughts on that yet.
Yeah.
But I will say that's not one I'm gonna feel the need to buy in singles, I don't think.
Right.
So that one I'm not gonna rush. I rushed out and got the new one with Martian Manhunter because it's funny, when we did Martian Manhunter, the very next day that came out, so I bought 5.
Yeah.
And I think Wonder Woman was maybe last week or the week before, but like we keep reviewing because all anybody cares about is Absolute. In fact, my worry is after we finish the first arcs of Absolute, no one will watch the show anymore. That's what I think is gonna. All
right, we have to go back to 616 Marvel now.
No one will leave a super chat because they won't care to pick the next thing we talk about because we're out of Absolute.
Yeah,
and we're only sampling things on the show, so you can't ask for the second arc of it.
Right.
So the Vault viewership will go way up when we do more Absolute there, and then this show, it's like, okay, well. Yeah, it's a great time to get into new comics, but the only thing that anybody cares about right now is Absolute, which is, to be fair, it's such a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
Because I watched a video the other day from a comic commentary channel that was and I should look that up and tell you guys who it is, because it's a channel I hadn't really heard much from before. But
this guy called Linkara?
No, stop it. And I don't want to hear that name come up on the channel again. No, I'm kidding. No, the reason I say that is every time I post anything remotely related to Power Rangers, there's always, not anybody, there's always somebody that's like, have you seen Linkara's Power Rangers? Stop it. Okay? Yes, I know about those. Let's move on.
I've heard the rant. I know what's up.
I don't know why it always comes up. It's like...
I do like Linkara's videos. I do like his breakdowns, but...
But why does it always have to come up? Anyway, whatever.
There's probably like Star Wars guys who are like, yes, I know about Red Letter Media. Please.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Please stop calling me Plinkett. I don't have any pizza rolls.
Yeah, the difference is I'm a fan of that. But yes. And anyway, the hell were we talking about?
Talk about the Flash and like what we're gonna do when we run out of absolutes.
Yeah, but I don't remember where I was going with all that. Well, anyway. I forget. Hopefully, I can win. We keep going off on tangents.
Yeah.
And then I completely lose my train of thought, and I blame you, Pikachu. Anyway, well, let's move on. Maybe I'll remember what the heck I was gonna say here in a little bit. Nightwing 129. Oh, I know what it was. So I was watching this video that was suggesting that DC is digging their own grave with Absolute because it's another like temporary like fad for them.
Yeah.
That they're not going to be able to keep interest in forever, and when everybody is done with Absolute, they're not going to have any readers left for main continuity anymore.
Right.
And the evidence they gave, and it was compelling, and I'll say, I do think the argument was a little overblown, a little, but the evidence was compelling.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if it's as dire as they were making it out to be,
right.
but it is a problem. I agree with them.
Yeah.
The question is just, like, how deep of a problem is it when Absolute is done, or when people are done with Absolute? But the evidence they gave were major regular continuity titles that used to be surefire bets. I mean, for being in the top 50 or even the top 20. That are nowhere to be found on those parts of the list anymore. And Nightwing reminded me of it, because Nightwing used to be one of those books, and it's dropped real far down. And they're also complaining about really great runs nobody's reading because Absolute is taking the whole pie. And their worry is when people are no longer interested in that, they'll have lost their whole reader base because they're not necessarily going to pivot back to regular continuity. And it makes me wonder if Absolute didn't come too soon. Because I said when that started, before I read any of it, that it looked real desperate to me. And even though it's all been quite good, it still feels like kind of a power move, like a last ditch, like secret weapon that you throw out when your sales are in the ground. And the problem is they had just had this huge initiative with Dawn of DC, and most of their titles were really good. The problem is they weren't selling like Absolute.
Right.
And I don't know how well they were selling, but they wasn't anything like this. So we've got one of the best runs on Superman in like a decade or two even.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, because of Absolute Superman, it drops real far down in the numbers and people aren't reading it, but it's still good apparently.
And when people talk about Superman in the context of the sales, and when people talk about Superman just in general, that books come out, it's always Jason Aaron. It's always Absolute too. Like, that's kind of taking the spotlight. And I mean, I'll be honest too, I haven't been keeping up with what like the current run of Superman. And that's just because I'm bad at everything. I'm bad at just like keeping up.
That's why you're qualified for this show.
I gotcha. But yeah, so Absolute is getting like the lion's share of the spotlight, and it is kind of overpowering everything else. And like, so much of it is that All-Star is very good and obviously deserves a lot of the praise it's getting. But
did you say All-Star? He meant Absolute.
I meant Absolute.
But I'm pretty sure I heard All-Star.
That is something. Look, I love All-Star Superman. Let me just say right now, and All-Star Batman and Robin the Boy Wonder is. Look,
we all know how that is.
I will say though that if we're talking about sales number, that book sold super well, and you know why? idiots like me who just wanted to watch the train wreck. I've seen Tommy Wiseau's The Room in theaters more times I care to count. I would just give me the trash.
I would love to go to that with you. It's amazing. That's amazing.
I'll let you know when it's back.
So, Chris, my question is, and then we'll get back to tomorrow's books. But this was a big thing I wanted to talk about tonight.
Right.
So remember, I've been out of the game for a long time. So when I come back in and I do a show and I'm spitballing, I'm just spitballing.
Right.
I don't know everything. I can't predict the future, and I at the start didn't have enough to go on to try to make guesses at the future. But I did suggest, and admittedly, I probably said this even then, I had not been in this for a while, so I might be talking out of the other side of my face. Freely admitting I'm just guessing.
Right.
I don't necessarily know enough, but just based on what I was looking at, I thought Absolute was really had the potential to raise all ships. And bring a lot of people back into comic shops, because that was the experience I was having, and that was the experience that I was hearing from other folks that were like subscribers of the channel. And so here's what I think might be going on. Because like I said, that guy's numbers were compelling. And so it makes me think, well, part of the problem is individual single issues are just too high, so you can't buy everything. So if you're really on the Absolute bandwagon, well, that's
gonna be all you buy.
Well, that's, what is it, 5 or 6 titles right now?
It's probably,
is it? I just can't even remember.
It's 6.
It's Batman, Superman, Martian Manhunter, Flash, Green Lantern, and am I missing one? Is it just those 5?
Well, no, because you got
Wonder Woman. That's
Wonder
6.
Woman,
Okay. So thank you. I was missing one.
We talked about.
I was missing the best one. Anyway,
exactly.
So
it transcended.
Definitively the best one. So
yes.
So there are 6 titles. They're $5 covers, or are they $4? I think they're $5 covers.
Probably $5. Yeah, if I had to guess.
So they are at least $24, if not $30 a month to get all of it, and that's if you're not buying flashy variants or anything like that. So if you're buying anything else at all in comics, if you're buying one thing at Marvel, if you're buying anything at any of the independent companies, you're already probably done. So it makes sense that it wouldn't raise all ships at that company. If you are in love with this fresh, new, you've never seen it before, it makes you see the character in a whole different light, take on Superman, that's not going to make you go over and buy the monthly that is 30-something issues in. That's the problem. So now what I'm wondering is, should I, because I can look at an opinion piece like this and it might change my opinion a little bit. It makes me wonder if Absolute was started prematurely, and if it maybe shouldn't have been in place of a Dawn of DC instead of so close to a Dawn of DC. That's my worry with it. And so the All In initiative was this, I think, feeble attempt at saying all of it matters. And you're going to want to buy this new universe and the regular stuff that's going on right now. And once they do the inevitable big event that connects them, more than connecting it back after the dissolution of the or the branching off of the two universes, people will come in for those tie-ins in that event, but they're still not necessarily going to read Mr. Terrific Year 1 just because Absolute is doing well.
and the best thing with Mr. Talk about Mr. Terrific, the one thing that book at least has going for it is that Mr. Terrific was the breakout star of the movie. And
that was maybe a bad example, but I'm just saying,
too,
anything not really... Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Flash, Superman, anything that's actually in Absolute, it's hurting those, but I think it's got to be hurting DC's whole line that's not Absolute, because again... You're in for $30 a month if you buy all of it. That's the main point I'm making.
Well, actually, just to kind of piggyback on the idea of Mr. Terrific, that's a character that people know about, and it might just be a marketing decision. It might just be absolutes are big thing. But also, in the main line, if that's not your deal, check out what we're doing with action. Check out...
Yeah,
I mean, it's
because, again, that wasn't a great example, because that's at least a number one that started around the same time.
Yeah.
But the point I'm trying to make, I'm just trying not to get us off track.
No, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Chris, the point I'm trying to make is, it can't be helping any title that's been going for a while.
Yeah, and that's...
And so I think it could be raising all ships outside of DC. That's the thing is, I think Absolute could be helping every other company except for DC. I think they could be shooting themselves in the foot, because I don't mean to... This is anecdotal. I don't mean to use myself as a larger sample set than one.
Yeah.
But I doubt if I'm the only person that's going into a comic shop partly because of Absolute and seeing all of the cool recent things that Dynamite is doing, or that Image is doing, or whoever. And so if other stuff catches your eye where there's not a giant barrier to entry, the point I'm making is, if you're all in for $30 a month and you've got maybe another 10 or 20 bucks a month you feel like you can spend on comics, you might not be going to more DC. You might buy that one thing at Marvel that looks cool.
You're not jumping into the middle of a 6-issue arc that's like a 30-issue run. And by the way, I do apologize, because me mentioning Lakar has a conversation about the Lightbringer and Sonichu in your chat. I'm deeply, deeply sorry for that.
This might be your last show.
I'll miss you all. You know, it's me, Chris, the true and original creator.
I know I threaten that every time, but this time I might mean it more. Why did you have to do that?
I had the best of intentions. I'm not sure how true that is, but still. That just follows me around, too. Every time I go anywhere, it's like, why are people talking about Sonichu over there, too? We're at Taco Bell. We're in polite society now. But I think one of the biggest things, too, is comics, there's always, like, that real tricky question about new readers and bringing in new readers and where to jump on, too. And Absolute was kind of great for that in like its isolation.
Yeah.
But then you have the same problems you've had for decades now too. Like, okay, you've got this that you can get a hold of, that you can actually get what's going on. But then you've got like the Batman series that's, again, every arc is probably like 6 issues for, the trades. So you could pick up like a random book and it's like part 4. And
Absolute is hurting Batman.
It's hurting Batman in particular.
That's the thing.
I care deeply about this.
You're right that you still have the how do you bring in new readers issue, and this solves it in some ways and makes it worse in other ways.
Yeah.
But it's unprecedented in that you're hurting the rest of the line.
Yeah.
And you're affecting Batman, which was like 80% of the titles during and just post-COVID. That's all they made. Now, and that's not being hyperbolic. That's all they were making, and most of what they were making.
Well, when you look at like the New 52, like there were like 20 Bat books.
I know, but I'm saying it was way worse 4 years ago.
Right.
Like during and just after COVID, I'm telling you, it's like 80% of their whole line was Batman related.
Yeah.
But it's affecting all of the Bat related books in mainstream. So here's my suggestion for DC, because to be fair to them, they could not have predicted how monolithic Absolute was going to be. So they meant it as a cool alternative.
As an Elseworlds, basically.
And I think, I do think they made a mistake in thinking that people would come in and get that and maybe buy some of their regular books, but I don't think they expected necessarily so many people to come out of the woodwork that haven't read comics in a long time or don't read comics to read Absolute, because I have actually seen a lot of, I've never read a comic book in my life, and I picked up Absolute Batman.
Right.
That's crazy. You haven't heard that in so long. Here's my suggestion for if they had a crystal ball in the first place, what they ought to have done, because this isn't fair. This is in hindsight. What I think, and this is super risky, but again, crystal ball.
Right.
And I get, there's people in the comments mentioning this. I'll read some comments in a second. I get that there are, finite plans for these books where they were not supposed to go on forever, or maybe somebody else was supposed to take over the books. It's hard to say. Right. I'm sure that's what will happen now. This is so popular, there's no way they do what Marvel's doing with New Ultimate. Right. I don't think. I mean, I guess anything's possible. Yeah. That would be very integrous of them. I doubt that will happen. Yeah. But here's what I know. I'm talking a lot.
No, you're good.
but here's what I think they should have done if they could have read the future, and what they should do now, not being able to read the future. Right. If you had it to go back and do over again, and I've alluded to this idea before, it should have been New 52. They should have bit the bullet and shut their whole line down and made this the line, and start with the 5-6 books. See how well those do, and then start adding to them, and just have a small line. And you might say, well, they've got a lot of writers and artists in their stable that are going to want work, but all you have to do is give them a bunch of out-of-continuity side projects. You can still have 30, 40, 50 books at your company. Yeah. They don't have to be current continuity. They don't have to be related. You just let people... Label. You just let people run off and do random crap for a year. Why not, right? So that's the first thing. Yeah. Now that this has happened and it's torpedoing their line, and there's the worry that when Absolute is done or people don't care about it anymore, they're sunk. And I don't think it's that dire, but I get that that's a worry. What I would do if I were them is basically what I'm suggesting surgically. What I suggested in the first place, but more surgically. Yeah. So you slowly add in. You keep doing it the same way, where you're bringing in really well liked, crafty creators to do creative new books, and you add a few more Absolute titles, right? And then you just really drop down the number of regular continuity stuff you have by at least half, if not more. Yeah. And then, if you still want a bunch of books at your line, you do the Elseworlds thing, you do the Black Label thing, you do what I'm suggesting. They already do a lot of that, and that's the stuff that's been selling more than anything else.
And I mean, that's
I don't think they need to rely on main continuity, and that's why I don't think it's as dire as these guys are saying it is, because I don't think they have to rely on that.
No, and the thing too is the main line, the main DC universe. I think if you are going to bring back your standard, your actual main continuity, main canon, it would almost have to be. You would just have to maintain it until Absolute dies down, and then just push up one as the other's falling too. I mean, there's so many weird ways that you could try and navigate this. You could do ease in the full reboot. You could try and just wait till this burns itself out. So there's ways you could ride this storm. You could ride this wave, and
if they full-on rebooted into Absolute, and they had to eventually pivot back to old continuity, they've done it before.
I mean, that's how the New 52 ended,
do we think this is a Cry Wolf kind of situation where, you can't, you keep uncrisising a crisis? I think you can. Yeah. I do. I think you can always go back to the regular old post-crisis continuity anytime you want to. Most people that will read a comic book are familiar enough with that status quo. I think you can always go back to it.
Well, with DC in particular, too. I mean, DC...
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and a lot of, DC basically resets their entire universe every, 10 years or so, more or less, whether it's a soft reboot, a hard reboot. You had Crisis, then you had 0 Hour, and then you had, Infinite Crisis didn't really, but it kind of did in that way, too. Then you had the New 52, then you had Rebirth. So, if you're a DC fan, you're used to, a lot of starts and stops.
Well, and the point I'm making is the trajectory of that, the pattern of that has always been... we'll try a whole other continuity or something that's just slightly off the beaten path. We always wind back up to post-crisis every time.
And I mean, it's funny too.
So why not experiment? Is what I'm saying.
And in a lot of ways too. I mean, it always goes back to the Silver Age. Like Barry Allen's the mainline Flash now, after a decade of Wally, and like Hal Jordan came back, and Aquaman will eventually have short hair again. I mean, if he doesn't already.
Let me read some of these comments. Chewbacca's lover Chris should apologize for bringing up Linkara. I agree. What is Lightbringer?
Okay. Oh Lord.
Sorry, I don't want to get into this. What does that have to do with him? Is that a thing he made or something?
Yeah. So what
okay,
it
then
was,
I don't care.
It was his college comic.
I could not care less.
And I'm sitting here like, yes, please, give me the power.
I don't care. I want to move on then if that's what that. I didn't know if that was something he reviewed or something he made. I don't care. I want to stay on this if we can.
Fair.
Dan Schneider, still talking about that whole thing. Okay.
I'm so sorry.
Killer Moth, I think when Absolute is done, there will be a big drop-off, but it would have been people who would never have stayed for the regular hero adventure anyways. Yeah, absolutely. And you can't knock anybody for coming in for the thing they want to read and then not care about anything else. The hope is that you might hook them somewhere in just, this is a hobby.
Yeah. And I think too, like,
but that's so much harder to do with adults.
It is, yeah. And like, if there was a way that they could gauge when Absolute is on the downslope and try and like navigate it up and try to like ride that wave, and I don't know, it's a lot of just marketing and a lot of like trend speculation, and it's a lot of just trying to catch your lightnings in all your bottles.
Oh, of course, yeah. Tyler, I like Absolute as an alternative. I would never want it as a replacement, especially since we finally have main continuity in a good place. That's a good point. I'm just talking about this from a business standpoint, where they're competing with themselves and that's shooting them in the foot. So what I'm saying is, if I were them, I might have tried it as, hear me out, an alternative where we don't have the regular books out for a while, and then bring them back after a couple of years.
Do like an Age of the Apocalypse, or Age of Apocalypse, where you're just like, nope, sorry, no more X-Men, and then like 5 months later, we're back.
And part of the reason I'm saying this as like editorial. As a reader, I don't know how much I would want that. On the other hand, and you're right, like Donna DC had some really good stuff, and so it would suck to not get that. But also, it's really hard with regular continuity not to just constantly repeat ourselves and kind of tell the same stories over and over again. And you can tell how much we're spinning our wheels. It's been fresher lately, even with mainline. I'm talking about DC. Marvel has not figured this out.
Right.
But their answer to everything is mash up two random things, and that's all they do now. But what I would, but the reason I'm suggesting that, and the reason there's a part of me that kind of wishes they had done that, is just because they were so chicken with New 52 to do it.
Yes.
Where they said, we're gonna full on reboot, and then they just didn't do it.
We're gonna full on reboot except for like these 5 titles.
Except for and then even some of the other stuff didn't really feel that way. And so I don't know. It would have been really bold, and it might not have worked, but Absolute has been so huge that, again, in hindsight, maybe it would have. So, like, I hear you guys. Like, I'm looking at this from 2 different hats, but I'm thinking, as a business decision, maybe that would have been the way to go, but not forever. I'm just suggesting, like, for a while. But I don't know if I'm right about that.
Right.
There's just my instinct. Dan Schneider had a $5 super chat if I can get to it. I know Snyder. Thanks, man. I know Snyder has 30 or 40 issue plan. I don't know if that means it ends or someone replaces him or plans to keep going, but only has that much plan. Sorry, I forgot that was a super chat, but I did kind of speak to that. But yeah, with as huge as that is now, it would be shocking to me if they ended it with 30 or 40 issues, but that book has really, and all of them really, but especially Batman, has really read to me like a thing intended to be finite.
Yeah, and
it's moving at such a clip.
I know, yeah.
We're getting so many villains in, real quick. I mean, Absolute is actually reading in weird way like the stuff that David Prepos is doing for Dynamite to me. With, I'll speak to some of this later, but with Captain Planet, with Space Ghost, where he's rushing out all the major villains in the first arc.
Right.
Like he doesn't know if he's going to eat tomorrow.
Yeah.
And it kind of... Now, some of that is because of the structure of those books where they're supposed to individually read, like, 20-minute cartoon episodes.
Yeah.
So it does make sense that he's doing that. But Absolute reads that way to me, where it's like, get as many major characters out. Like, what I'm saying is the pacing of that is much faster than in even what you would expect a mainstream reboot to be like.
Yeah.
Even like Ultimate Spider-Man didn't move that kind of clip. Some of that's because Bendis wrote it, but but you hear what I'm saying?
You need
where it's like it reads like it doesn't want to be more than 30 issues.
Yeah. And I know a lot of times too, writers are contracted for like 10 issues just as like a trial, and then it's like, okay, if we get to that end of the run, we'll extend that. And, like, I think Snyder was even saying that either his, like, first detective run or, like, New 52 Batman, that he was just, like, on board for, like, 10 issues. And it wasn't until, like, issue 8 where he had to go up to, like, his editors and be like, am I good? Am I out? So he didn't want to plan too far, but by the time he got to issue 10, they're like, yeah, you stay on as long as you like. We like what you're doing. So... I mean, it just kind of depends. Like, you never know what's going on in the editorial. You never know what's going on at
of course.
The office. So
no, we're just sitting here speculating.
Yeah, exactly. It's
just like with books you try to make money on. Chewbacca's Lover, I said he should not apologize for bringing up Linkara. I guess I read that wrong. Well, no, you're wrong. He should. Anyway, I'm only reading that because I made a mistake. But anyway, I'm getting irritated. You should be.
You should be.
Anyway, I don't know. Let's wrap this part of the discussion up.
Yes.
I suppose. Give me a second. I'm starting to throw my voice out, Chris.
Mention Linkara one time, everything just falls apart.
It's the end of the show. It's the end of the world as we know it.
And I feel fine.
But I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say for sure, what exactly they should do at this point. Somebody mentioned that apparently Snyder has said they're not planning on for the foreseeable future doing more than like 8 Absolute books.
Yeah.
So if they're sticking to their guns and having some integrity with it and trying not to respond to this by milking it for all it's worth, good on them.
I know. Yeah.
I mean, that's great if they're doing. But I still think the answer to Absolute sinking some of the other books is you just can't have as many mainstream books, and you just let some of those writers that people would love if only they were reading those books go and do miniseries, because I'm like out of continuity miniseries, because I'm telling you that stuff is grabbing people's attention more than a lot of mainstream at the same time as Absolute. Like the weird Black Label Superman book that just came out last week, which I bought and I'll talk about later.
I didn't get a chance to. I didn't see it when I went to the shop too. I was kind of...
Yeah, I grabbed that, and I got a cool variant cover. On that one. But just you can't have too many of those things.
No, you really.
I don't think. Now that might split. To be fair, that could split your base too much. Also.
Yeah.
But the nice thing is, you're not asking for the kind of commitment that you are with a monthly if you go, it's just 4 issues, it's just 6 issues. And then you'll have people that can keep kind of pivoting where they go, I'm going to buy this for 4 months. And then I've got that extra slot in my pull list. Now I'll get this for 4 months. It's kind of like what the Disney Plus shows were supposed to be for Marvel.
Yeah.
And I think that maybe works in comics.
And the one thing too is even like when you look at some of the stuff they're doing that people are at least talking about, even if they don't necessarily like. Hush 2 comes to mind, where it's almost it's weird continuity, but it's not really connected to anything except like Hush 1.
He doesn't remember anything that came after it?
Yeah, basically it's
I've not been bothering with that.
I have. I mean, I've only seen most of what I.
Well, to be fair, I think I bought an issue of it on accident just because there was a special cover I wanted.
Yeah, and like I've just been catching little bits and pieces. I know that apparently the Riddler is super jacked and has like a Punisher outfit now.
Of course he does.
He's got like a question mark, Sub-Zero scar now. That's great.
Does he look like he did in Nightfall when he had those giant muscles?
Kinda, yeah, like that action figure that you could get where it's like, yep, he's on Venom now. But except that, yeah, he wears like a Punisher Max like body armor outfit now.
Austin, this is a good point. He says, I've also heard comic store owners say it's harder to sell minis to monthly readers. They already complain there's too many. They try to sell them to people, and they get it's only 4 issues. I just wait for trade. It's just hard to say, like, what kinds of readers are coming in for Absolute versus the people that are there already.
Right.
So, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I'm just spitballing, like I said. Like,
comics are such a weird market anyway, too.
Well, the different kinds of readers and buyers are just so splintered.
Yeah.
Like, we all do it a lot of us do it real differently.
Yeah. And you have folks who just want, like, everything, too, who will take, like, some indie, some, like, mainly Batman, absolute Batman, and just kind of be the sponge.
I've got a massive bias with this.
Yeah.
Where I know everybody isn't like me, but I have a hard time appreciating coming in and trying to buy too many interconnected books in a continuity now, because I know I'm a broken record, but I don't like the price points, and I haven't been in for 8 years, so I don't care what the continuity is.
Yeah.
So I'm coming back in less for monthlies and more for finite series. Or at least series that I'm duped initially to think might be finite and then end up going longer. Right. I'm having that with some Dynamite stuff, to be fair. But what is bringing me into this stuff in the first place is a not giant barrier to entry and feeling like I don't have a huge commitment. And so I have a big bias with that.
And the one thing, too, that I think, like, folks who've been in the comics game for a while, too, are a little bit more willing to be like, yeah, I'm gonna jump in with like issue 30 now. I'll figure out along the way too. And I think that's such like a hit and miss thing too, because some folks can't do that. Other folks, it's like, yeah, just par for course. It's comics. These have been going on since like 1938.
But those are older people that have done it forever.
Yeah.
If somebody comes in that's never read a comic
they're
and
not
gets
gonna
to Absolute, I'm telling you, they're not going to buy Superman number 30. They're just not going to do that.
Yeah.
Okay, we got to move on.
Sorry,
Here comes the rest of the new stuff
Here comes Daredevil.
for tomorrow. We're just going to keep increasing our one time every week. We're going to get to the point where you're not even going to go to bed before work the next day.
Exactly.
That's where it's all going.
I'll just be in the office, but and another thing.
Detective 1100. That's a really impressive sounding number.
Yeah.
And again, Detective has not been selling. So like this one being a milestone, maybe it'll this one will probably sell a few, but
it's so wild too, because like
Tom Taylor's doing a story for this one, Rucka is doing a story for this one.
It's got Rucka and Taylor, so I mean those are names that people know, and
yeah, but that's not what sells a big book like this.
Yeah,
it's oversized in number 1100. That's what sells a
and
like this.
Detective and just like regular Batman were always like at the top of the list, always at the top of the sales charts,
and they're not now.
Yeah,
it's so bizarre. Yeah, I've never seen that happen. Number 10 for Amazing Spider-Man Volume 89 or something. Ultimate Black Panther 19. So yeah, we're not gonna have Ultimate books here after a while, I guess.
Yeah.
Other DC titles that aren't Absolute that apparently people aren't buying. Batman and Robin Year 1. I don't know anything about that.
I don't know either.
I've been looking at that. I don't know if that's any good.
I mean, it's a Mark Waid So,
yeah.
I mean, it's probably at least a decent quality, but again, I also don't think DC's
You say
really
that,
hype it up.
I've lost so much interest in Wade the last few years.
Right.
Like, and I don't mean to throw shade at anybody.
Yeah.
But like, back when I was buying monthly, I was reading a couple things by him that I felt like it just really dropped in story quality.
Yeah.
And if people tell me a new Wade thing is great, I'll check it out. Like, no disrespect to Wade, but like, he lost me somewhere. Like, I can't get excited about his name anymore on things. And he's doing a ton for DC right now.
Yeah, like he's been doing like World's Finest and stuff like that. And
Yeah. Now I will say that book looks fun.
he did have the Christmas issue where he implied that Santa Claus trained Batman. So, I mean, okay, I'll give him that one.
Okay, but that's really funny when there also was that weird, like, Santa Claus Batman crossover miniseries.
Yeah.
That I guess they're doing a sequel to. I think I saw that somewhere. I read the first issue of that. It was terrible. It was really bad. Did you know New Gods had a book right now?
I did not.
See, this does not seem like a good time to have a New Gods book. Like, New Gods on their own is a thing that has never really sold well.
Here's the thing, like, New Gods is very much like, if you know, you know. And
right.
when it
but,
goes,
I mean, this might be great, but you can't tell me anybody's buying it.
Even like Brian Azzarello, actually, when he was on Wonder Woman, he did actually a panel up at Planet where people are excited that New Gods were. He just goes like, "You like the New Gods? You should buy their books." And it's like, okay, fair, but
yeah, well, there's a lot of great things that just are niche, right?
Yeah.
So Superman Unlimited. Sorry, I gotta get through this.
Yeah, you're good.
Superman Unlimited is already on issue 4. Is this book double shipping? Or is it a weekly or something? Because I bought the first issue of this because it was a cool cover, and it was okay, but I didn't like it enough to keep going with it just because I'm buying so much.
Right.
But like for a slot thing,
yeah,
I liked it fine. Like, it's sad to say that I live in a world where I really liked the first issue, or I liked well enough anyway.
Yeah.
A slot Superman over a Bendis Superman.
Yeah.
It's sad to say. I know that's low-hanging fruit, folks, but anyway. So I'm not seeing a lot of stuff I just absolutely have to have tomorrow besides Absolute Batman 11. I will pick that up, but Crypto number 3 is out tomorrow. And
I did start reading the Crypto series.
It's so good.
It is.
I adore it.
And the thing is, too, like, Ryan North is such, like, a really interesting writer because, again, like, he went from, like, even though I liked Squirrel Girl, and obviously if you've been
was that him?
That was him. If you've been on the internet and you've seen, like, any sort of meme, you've seen those, like, clip art dinosaur comics, and that's him. And that's how he got his start, and now he's doing, like, a great Fantastic Four run. Now he's doing Crypto. That's really good. And I mean, I just love the fact that that's how he got his start, and now he's doing, like, amazing things.
Sure, yeah. Austin, that New Gods book also has some of the best covers month to month. Yeah, they do look really great. You're not wrong. Okay, so this is the first Marvel number 1 I've seen in a little while that I'm actually kicking around.
Yeah.
I would maybe pick this up.
Right.
Partly just because the cover's cool.
Yeah.
So here's a new Black Cat number 1 by G. Willow Wilson.
G. Willow Wilson's great.
Of all people.
Yeah.
Super thief, superhero. Yeah, she dances back and forth just like Catwoman does. Like, are we shocked? Oh my God! She might now. I guess that's.
I think there's some similarities between the two characters. Call me crazy here.
Now, it's maybe weird so soon after she was the Kingpin.
Yeah.
But, Felicia Hardy, I wonder if this will even mention that. Felicia Hardy is the Black Cat. That's true. The world's slyest and most skilled super thief. She loves a good score. The longer the odds, the better. We know who Black Cat is, but her whole world turned upside down after the Amazing Spider-Man battle with Hellgate. I don't even know what's happening there. So Felicia's turning over a new leaf as New York's newest superhero. This blurb is just freaking out about this brilliant notion.
Yeah, it's like, is she a superhero? Question mark.
So she's going to fight the lizard first? That sounds fun. let's see.
Wait,
Attracts dangerous attention from the lowest of the city's underworld. Easy kingpin of crime. She's still so. I guess they probably will mention
Kingpin,
that.
yeah.
Oh wait, she is still the kingpin.
I guess she's still the kingpin. So
Okay.
Yeah.
So that that blurb is not well written or anything, but I might try that one out.
Yeah, and again, it's like G. Willow Wilson, who I've liked a lot of her stuff.
Are you with me though? That's a great cover.
That's a great cover. No, absolutely. I will say G. Willow Wilson wrote a book, like a novel that I really liked, called A Leaf the Unseen, about like genies and hackers.
You can read a whole book.
I can read a whole book. Wow. Exactly. Yes. Now it's funny because like I saw, is that House of Leaves over there on your shelf?
Yes.
I have that. I have not gotten the nerve to actually get through that yet.
I started it. So, unlike Chris, I cannot read a whole book. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Literacy is for fools.
Godzilla Destroys the Marvel Universe is back. Second issue of that. Gunslinger might be the only Spawn book this week. That would be shocking. Wow. What else?
Walking Dead.
Reading
Deluxe.
down this.
Umbrella Academy, if all the emo kids out there.
I'm skipping all these creator-owned image things, but something called The Seasons, Ghost Pepper. Let's read some of these. Have you heard of this?
I haven't heard of this. This is Remender.
Oh, it's Remender. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. The Seasons, summer, winter, spring, and autumn are. Oh, you know what? I think I read about this on one of our earlier shows, maybe. I might be wrong about this. In autumn are the Seasons sisters, the daughters of the world-renowned Seasons detectives. 10 years ago, their famous parents disappeared. Left to raise themselves, the sisters formed an unbreakable bond. Now that bond is tested as the sisters fall prey to sinister forces. That sounds kind of cool.
Yeah, no, I'd check it out, too. I mean, it's got, like, some really carnival-y, like, aesthetics to it, too, and that's... I eat that up.
Oh, okay, cool. What makes Chris pull things off the shelf is if he gets
pretty much
stuck
like,
in his
look,
head.
I've mentioned pro wrestling like 10 times with this. You know I'm down with the carny stuff.
That's a good point. This Ends Tonight. We mentioned that a couple weeks ago. That sounded kind of interesting. Terminator. VR Troopers continues. I've not been buying that.
Yeah.
Because I didn't like the new Power Ranger series, and it's a direct spinoff of that.
Right.
TMNT Journeys #1, a very Mirage throwback cover.
Yeah, they got Peter Laird.
Oh, Laird is
wow.
there. Well, his name is there as the writer. Or maybe it's just cover. Maybe they just put his name on there because he did a cover, and so they can get away with putting his name on the book.
It looks like they got him as writer at the creators there, too.
Who was actually writing this book?
Yeah. Peter Laird and Jim Law. I mean, did Laird actually, like...
I can't tell. Oh, no, this is a reprint of an old book.
Oh, okay.
That's why. That's why. Okay. Yeah, they've done that with a few things. Like, they brought back... do you remember when they brought back that crazy Image Turtle series that was never finished?
Oh,
I bought all those.
Yeah.
Urban Legends?
Do
you know about this?
I vaguely remember. I never actually picked any up, but,
Yeah, I bought all of that, but I've never finished it. So what that did is it reprinted all of the Image Turtle series up to when it was canceled. And then they brought back the creators to finish it.
That's wild. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's really neat. And I don't know if it was any good, but the whole thing was
I'm just happy it exists.
that stuff crazy. In the first place, I don't know what good means with it.
Right.
But I was enjoying it. But it's wacky and ultra violent and real screwed up.
Yes.
Yeah, you'd love it,
I'm
Chris.
down. I'm already here.
Now, it didn't make me go, da, 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 da. I will say that.
Nothing's perfect. So, hey, Vox Machina is got a book out. We can teach Cap about Critical Role. Who's ready to go?
So this does not feel like a huge week like last week to me.
Right.
There's a few things that I'm going to care about grabbing.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not seeing a lot from Dynamite. And Dynamite...
They're reprinting Civil War. That's...
Yeah, that'll be a reprint I will not feel the need. Effectively, that I will not feel the need to grab.
Yeah, look, they're...
I'm good there.
a whole Mark Millar discussion. We've already had we've already mentioned All-Star Batman on this too. We could go real deep.
Tyler says Black Cat hasn't been the Kingpin in like 7 years. I was gonna say I didn't think, but I just meant relative to comic time.
Yeah.
That so soon after that, they're gonna be like, now she's a superhero.
Well, I was gonna say, I knew I was behind on the Zdarsky Daredevil, and I know Wilson Fisk is in that. I just didn't know how far is behind on everything.
Dan Schneider, do you guys know about the TMNT Battle Nexus crossover thing? No, I'm not sure what you're talking about. Okay, well, let's show off some stuff that we got last week, Chris.
Right.
Chris, you said you brought some things.
I did. So
let's find out what's in your brown paper bag.
I feel like I should have just taken this out on camera too. First of all, I've only got a couple things here. First of all, gotta do crypto. I just started this. I actually started this on the DC Unlimited app, and I was like, I need a physical copy. We need to have the good dog book. We need to have that good dog book. Another thing I picked up, I started reading the Magic series from Marvel.
Oh.
Just because I'm a dork who likes Ilyana Rasputin.
Oh, really? Okay.
And here's the thing, too. So my girlfriend's son,
that's not a character that ever super grabbed me, but I've liked her in stuff.
Here's the thing, too. My girlfriend's son comes to her one day and mentions offhand, hey, could you take me to the comic store? I've been playing Marvel Rivals, and I really like the demon chick that's in this. So she goes to me and says, hey, my son mentioned this. Do you know about the new book with what's-her-face? Do I? Child, let me tell you. Let me spread the good word of Ilyana Rasputin. So, I got him, it wasn't even the first issue. It was, issue 2, just because that's what they had at the shop. And he, I walk in, he grabs it, and runs away and just goes, hell yeah! But, I haven't gotten too super far in the series. This is issue 8. I've been just catching up on Marvel Unlimited, too, and, I've been enjoying it. It's not necessarily anything overly kind of groundbreaking, but it's a solid. If you want somebody with a big sword slaying demons, which I think we established last week is kind of in our wheelhouse, it's an enjoyable read.
Yeah.
And
that's cool.
The last thing I picked up.
Now, let me ask you real quick. Sorry, let me interject. So, how do you collect?
Very poorly. Very
poorly.
Well,
what I was going to ask is because you said you were reading digital.
Yes.
And then you just went to a shop and you're like, I've been reading that book. I'll pick up 8. So, are you? I will collect whole runs of things,
right?
Of course, and I'll sometimes backtrack. I'll start buying in the middle of something, and then eventually, when I find the books at other shops for decent prices and on sale and stuff, I'll go back and gap fill.
Yeah.
So, do you gap fill or do you just go? I like covers, and so I just buy the covers I like.
It depends too. A lot of times I do gap fill. A lot of the runs I've collected, I've basically just pop a pimple, where I'll start at one end and then I'll start at the other end, just kind of work my way in.
I do some of that.
A lot of times too, if a cover grabs me, because the third thing I have is something I just bought sight unseen. It's something called Detective Kaiju, which I can't not. It's called Detective Kaiju, and just flipping through it seems like a cool book. But sometimes I just go into the shop and look at the shelves, and I've got characters I like, I've got creators I like, and just kind of go from there. And if it's something that really kind of sticks out to me, I at least kind of, because I will okay, let me just jump in the middle of something and see if I can figure out my way, and then just sort of go back, which thankfully is much easier to do now than it was back in 1996. So yeah, I'm kind of a gap filler in that way.
So if you buy, say, Magic number 8.
Yes.
Is that putting a pin in it where now that's a series you're collecting, or not necessarily?
Kind of, it just depends if it grabs me too. I'm either...
you've read the other 7 issues. Well, so does that mean now you bought 8, you'll definitely at some point go back, or is it if I run into it.
Here's like the thing, like I've read sort of the first arc, I've read what's on Unlimited.
Yeah.
I haven't quite got to 8 yet. It's like, let me see what's going on and let me see if I can catch up from there too.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Yeah, I'm just weird basically.
Because you have access, you can read it.
Oh, for
like,
sure,
you don't have
yeah.
to actually own them.
Exactly, yeah. So
because sometimes I'll do that where it's a placeholder.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, now I'm committed. And sometimes it'll be, I like this book a lot, but not enough to own all of it.
Right.
Or I have access, so all I really care about are the coolest covers.
Yeah.
But if it's a book I admire enough, I'll go, and like I'm very inconsistent.
Yeah.
I'll go, yeah, I need all 24 of those.
And
I gotta be able to thumb through them. I just like that book too much.
And a lot of times too, when I go into the shop, it just depends what's on the shelf, and you just gotta go with vibes too. It's like, yeah, that one. It's like I've already read, you know.
And are you loyal to one shop, or do you jump around a lot?
I jump around, and part of it too is just because
I'm not saying I won't buy at other places than the normal one I go to.
And yeah,
but I don't go to a lot of local places. I've got the one shop I go to.
Yeah,
and I should do more of that because I know I'll run into stuff that they ran out of or whatever. I just worry about spending too much money.
Oh,
That's
sure.
the main reason I don't.
Yeah.
But I shop at other stores when I'm out of town.
Yeah,
That's when I really go to other places.
And like, here's the thing. This city is weird because like our area where
we have
at,
a crap ton of comic
yeah,
shops.
we got a crap ton of comic shops in like weird places. Like it's either feast or famine,
and places that aren't comic shops but sell them.
Yeah, I mean,
Sorry.
no, you're good. I mean, that's true. I mean, we've got a ton of like vintage stocks around here, and like for a while, like
Which
that
used to be better for comics.
which used to be better for
because
comics.
you used to be able to do pulls there.
Yeah, and like I grew up in.
They don't even carry current anymore.
Not really, no.
Like-
yeah,
And I think they stopped even before Diamond went under.
I mean, it's so weird because like they weren't never like my primary shop.
Yeah, no, me neither.
But it's also weird too because I had an area that had like a comic, or I was in an area that had a comic shop. That comic shop went under. Another comic shop came in like a few years later. That one bounced around just because I grew up in an area without a super great Chamber of Commerce. Just gonna really tear into my hometown's downtown. Let me tell you.
Like, I'm gonna pitch you something.
Yeah.
I want you. You could have this.
Okay.
This is all yours.
All right. Yeah.
I want you to write the first issue of a comic series called Bad Chamber of Commerce.
Chamber of.
You can have that, Chris. That is all
Got you
yours.
right there. But yeah, I mean, well, the guy who actually opened the shop downtown, he was at the mall.
I got a better one. Chamber of Commerce Horrors. There you go.
There we go. All set.
Nailed it.
Got it. First
Try.
first try, even though it was the second try. That's just the subtitle too. That's volume 1. But yeah, so one particular shop that was in the area was at the mall. Well, the mall kept like raising his rent. So he's like, "Hey, I can't afford to be here.
Yeah.
So I'm going to move downtown."
Yeah.
Well, area where I grew up, downtown was kind of a wasteland. Like if you weren't an antique store, sorry.
Yeah.
So he ended up having to move to the Missouri side. But since he bounced around so much, he had to buy so much space. He actually was pretty deep in debt just from all of that. So he ended up getting bought out by a competitor. And, well, not a competitor. Like it was a partner who I guess got like mad at him and started his own shop. There's a whole lot of, we're going to talk about some comic shop drama here. Get ready. But, so it became like another shop. It moved into the old space. So again, like Random Town, Kansas couldn't hold on to the comic shop. And now, I have to go like the Northland. Now, luckily too, Kansas City is just it's weird in general. So everything's about half an hour away from everything else. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I mean,
it's a good thing and a bad thing.
It's a good thing and a bad thing too. So I kind of, and again, there's shops where I know people, and I used to be really involved with the Renfest up here, and so I've got friends from that who own shops in the area. Because again, Kansas City is such a weird area, but it's also kind of a blob where everybody kind of knows each other.
Yeah. It's very strange.
Yeah.
Especially in a particular hobby like that.
Exactly, yeah. That's a long way of saying that I just bounce around just because it's out of necessity almost, too.
Yeah. So. Hey, Dylan Michiello is back.
Hey.
Good to see you, man. $10 super chat. And that puts you in the lead, so you might get to pick the thing we review next week. Cap, I feel like we're on the same trajectory with comics. I'm glad we're both getting back in. Me too, man. Tell me what you're buying. You don't have to leave another super chat, but just leave us a comment, and I want to know what your like top 3 favorite things are right now. Like what are you buying, getting back in, and how long have you been back in? Did you do it just a few weeks ago, like I did, or has it been like a year? Like how long have you been back in? It's good to hear from you, Dylan. Hey, I want to see the art in that magic book.
Yes, it is.
Well, that's not a 9/8 anymore.
Yep, sorry. Get those cover ticks.
I've been waiting all night to get to say that. I was waiting for one of us to drop something.
Happy to help.
I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Oh, this is pretty.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's good art, too.
Yeah, this looks pretty good. You know what this reminds me a little bit of? Who is this again? Horak. I don't know. Matt Horak. This reminds me vaguely, and I don't remember who the artist was, of whoever was drawing the Agent Venom series after Remender left it and Bunn took over.
Oh, yeah.
Because Bunn did a lot of, just because he's obsessed with occult stuff.
Yeah.
He did a lot of occult stuff in that book. And this is especially color-wise, this is reminding me of that. But I'm digging it.
Yeah. And the one thing, too, that I've noticed, at least recently, a lot of comics have kind of really stepped up their color game, too.
Yeah.
That's one of the big things.
We're saying nice things about Marvel.
We are, yeah. But here's the thing, too, like with... We're also, that kind of goes back to a lot of what we're saying, too, where there are these hidden gems that probably aren't getting, like, the attention they deserve, and there's a lot of books that you have to dig for, and, I mean, there's good stuff out there, but overall, like, that's not what's getting the attention, even though it probably should, so...
Yeah. No, I feel like a lot of great stuff's falling under the radar, but in a way it's a good problem to have, because I think you're going to be in this hidden gem place here in 5 or 10 years where you're going to have a bunch of stuff that was under the radar, that everybody missed when it was first out, that suddenly just does gangbusters in trades, or will have number ones that go through the friggin' roof for collectors. I think you're going to see that happen.
Right. And the one thing, too, that... You know, we were talking about New Gods, too, where that's kind of the perpetual example of that, too.
Yeah.
Like, the New Gods, again, to quote Brian Azzarello from, like, one panel I saw at Planet, everyone loves the New Gods, but nobody buys the New Gods.
Yeah, sorry to switch up subjects again, but Dan Schneider, somehow I did not hear about this Battle Nexus thing. I was checking with him to see if that was even a comic. I had not heard about that.
Right.
So I need to look at it, because that sounds awesome, where it's like, it sounds like Turtles Forever, the comic book. Because he said it's like different versions of Turtles from different universes all fighting each other.
I mean, that sounds cool.
And so they're just doing Turtles Forever, but everywhere. Yeah, that sounds great. I've not heard about that. Bob the Hunt, $2 super chat. Can you and Austin do a comic vault on Lightbringer? No.
I will miss you all.
I don't want to do that.
Now, here's the thing. There's a bunch
of people in the comments that, like, this is probably not a thing that I should dignify with a review, right? Like, I'm assuming people want us to read that because it's not very good.
Here's, like, the thing, too.
What if it is good, I guess? I don't know.
It was his first
I'm not trying to be an asshole to Linkara.
It was a thing he did. It was an MS Paint comic he did in, like, college.
I just got sick of hearing about him every time I talked about Power Rangers, Chris. That's it.
That's fair, yeah.
I don't even have much of an opinion about them.
And I will say, too, that it's something that he's,
I have a pet peeve where other creators have to come up when I talk about it.
That is fair.
It's irritating.
I can't blame you.
I'll love that.
Yeah.
Now, if it's like... I don't know, you're comparing me to like favorably to somebody where it's like, well, you know, they talked about this and I like that, but like you also did a good job. I guess that's whatever. But it's just when the whole comment is not even about the thing I did, it's just, have you seen this thing this other guy? I don't know why. That is a pet peeve of mine.
That's fair.
I don't like that.
That's fair. But I will say, long story
I'm also
short,
intentionally laying this on a little
No,
bit.
you're good. I will say, just in all seriousness,
It's actually not that big of a deal, but I'm in a little bit of a Booster Gold place right now where I feel like I have to milk it.
Entirely fair. But I will say, short answer, should you do Lightbringer as the Vault? No, don't do that. Please.
Well, Bob the Hunt says it's a so bad it's good sort of thing where he calls it the room of comic books.
I mean, it kind of is, but it's also something that Linkara has done much better stuff since. And it was like a thing. It's the first thing he ever did. And again, he did it on MS Paint.
So it's Youngbloods.
Basically. I mean,
I'm not saying Youngbloods was done on MS Paint.
He's since, and he's since sort of like.
I'm sort of intrigued when I hear he did it on Paint.
I'm
sort of intrigued.
Yeah, I mean, there is. Again, he's grown as a creator. He did like a found footage thing.
Austin says he's gonna make us do it.
Oh no. There is a part where like you could tell Linkara again.
I've never fired 2 people in 1 week. I've never done that.
There is a part where he did want to add like a strong female character, so he had a woman come into a shop and a furniture store and like pick up a couch, and that was like his idea of strong.
Okay.
But again, this is something he made when he was a kid, and he since come on said like, now I say a kid, but he was like 19, but still. He has since said, like, look, I was a dumb kid who made a comic because I wanted to.
Sure.
It's something he's since, said, like, he's even kind of said that he doesn't like people bringing it up because...
Me neither.
Yeah, he's like, I've done so much stuff since, and people always try to bring that up to, like, bring me down, cut me down, and it's like, it was a bad comic I made on MS Paint. And it was a bad web comic.
That guy has such an odd philosophy on comics. I can't imagine what his comics are like. And, like even his better stuff. I just wonder what that is with a guy who doesn't like comics to be remotely serious.
Yeah. And like
that's his philosophy, isn't it?
A little. I mean, it's.
Why are we talking about that?
Yeah. And I mean, it's a weird, like, it's kind of odd because it's supposed to be, like, what if superheroes were in the real world, but, like, not. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of really clashy tones to it, apart from, like, it just being, like, an MS Paint thing. But, again, I do sympathize with them a little bit more than I do, like... Never do Sonichu for the Vault. Let me just say that right now.
People were talking about that, too. I think that was one people...
Yeah, at least, like, Lightbringer was something... Linkara looks back, is like... I've done better. I know it was bad. I know. It's not as messy as, like, some webcomics.
We're getting close to 2 hours. We have a lot more to do.
Yes, exactly.
Let me move on. Yeah. Dylan, sorry, I'm not annoyed or anything.
No, you're good. You're totally fine.
I
don't blame you.
Move on.
Yes.
Dylan, if I get to choose the Vault, the next comic, my pick will be Geiger Volume 1 by Jeff Johns. I know nothing about that.
I don't know anything about Geiger, no.
So that might be what we end up doing. He's at $10 right now, so he's in the lead.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for the support, and I really appreciate it. Okay, I'll go through my stuff as quickly as possible.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm going to start with stuff I bought last week, or bought that came out last week.
Right.
And then I'll go to some recent back issues and other stuff that I got.
Yeah.
Like I said, nothing like the stack I had the week before, but I've still got a healthy, 12, 14 sitting here. A lot of Powerpuff Girls. So last week I had a bunch of Power Rangers. This week I have a lot of Powerpuff Girls. Nobody's going to care about this. I'll go through them quickly. But I have started buying Dynamite's Powerpuff Girls, catching up on that, Chris.
Yeah.
And I hadn't read any of it yet. Like, I bought the Halloween special last year, hadn't read it yet.
Right.
I bought an issue or 2 of the new series, but I hadn't looked at it yet, so I didn't know what this is like tonally. Right. I didn't really know what the art looked like. Just looking at this special, so this is the Supervillain Summer Spectacular. This is pretty authentic, both visually and script-wise to that show. Maybe a little... Now, this is an oversized story, so I wonder how the regular book reads.
Right.
It's a little more dialogue-heavy than Powerpuff Girls usually is, so the comedy pacing is maybe, like... I'd almost say quicker because there's so many more jokes. Being thrown at you, but it's light, it's bright, it's witty. Bubbles is wonderful, and she's my favorite character in cartoons. So this whole thing made me happy. This was the Powerpuff Girls go to a theme park and they miss the memo on the radio that says that the theme park has been taken over by supervillains because it's Villain Day. And the mayor is trying to appease the villains who are constantly destroying the town by giving them their own day at a theme park.
That sounds amazing, actually.
And then the Powerpuff Girls get there, and they're like, why are all these villains here? And the villains are doing nothing wrong. They're just riding rides. And the Powerpuff Girls are looking for every excuse to punch them.
That sounds amazing, actually.
And they just, like, Buttercup gets mad that the like blues dream guy, I forget his name, the blues man, I think. That his head is too big and is blocking her vision while she's on a roller coaster, so she beats the crap out of him. And it's a who's who of villains in the Powerpuff Girls, and it brings back the alien broccoli guys. That had one episode, and they're a lot of fun in it. So it's a lot of like nostalgia callback stuff, but there's enough like new fresh stuff in it. And if you like that show, it seems like they're doing good authentic stuff with it, like IDW did, because IDW's was quite good. They tried a more serialized thing with it with their first go, which was kind of interesting. And I don't know if the main series is doing that or if it's standalones. But this had what the old DC series did, which is it's a one and done kind of longer cartoon that absolutely could have been an episode. And maybe should have been an episode. And I love it when that works out. Because like McCracken always said he was out of ideas, and then I read like when they had 6 seasons. And Cartoon Network wanted him to come back and do another one, and he was like, we've done so many of these, I have nothing left to say. And then you'll read, and I get like singular creator being burnt out. But then you read all of these comic stories, and you go, there were so many legs left in that show. There's so many more funny ideas you could have done.
And especially since, again, it's just kind of a solid concept that you could build off of, and you get somebody who's creative and can do, like,
you get
some such a great idea. I'm just saying.
It could have gone for 15 years if you had enough new blood in it.
Exactly,
Absolutely. So anyway, I loved that. I'm really excited to read more Dynamite Powerpuff Girls. The only thing I'm not digging about this is occasionally we'll do exaggerated kind of anime-esque facial expressions, which Powerpuff Girls just didn't really do all that often. Maybe the latter couple of seasons, which I didn't watch a ton of. I've still never seen every episode of that show, believe it or not, as big of a fan as I am of that. Just because the later stuff, it was kind of like Dexter. It wasn't as good after the movie. But anyway, that aside from that, because the newer series did all of that stuff, and I hate that show. So it's a little sad seeing that, but there's not a ton of it. It's not a big deal. Anyway, I did catch up on Captain Planet. This is number 3, which came out last week, and I've read the first 3 of these. And again, David Prepose, it's solid. That's my review. I'm not in love with it, but it's good. It's the same thing he's doing with Space Ghost in that it's paced like an episode. So it feels like you're getting like 20 pages of cartoon, like 20 minutes of cartoon done in 20 pages. And that's nice. It's beginning, middle, and end enough. It's arcier than Space Ghost. Like, it's more serialized than that. Like I say that the first issue is mostly just here's an introduction to the 5 Planeteers, and they're getting their rings, and they don't even meet in that first issue. And I was worried that we were going to really stretch out their being on their own for a few issues. And they all come together by the middle of issue 2, which...
So at least that's good, too. Which I really appreciate. Decompressing,
And the way they meet is fun, because 2 of them... I won't give too much away, and I won't talk about this for too long, but like 2 of the Planeteers meet on a plane, and they get... What am I trying to say? they like each other, and they start a friendship, and then two of the others get in a big fight right away.
Yeah.
And then Mati comes in and has to break the whole thing up. And that's fun, but
because he's hard.
But it's like Space Ghost in that it's exactly the show it was, except it knows it's for an adult audience now.
Right.
So it's smarter, it's a little more sophisticated. It is a reimagining, so it starts from a bit of a different place, but it's more or less like fueled by the same thing. It's in the same genre. Like, it does exactly what I always go to this example, but it does exactly what Brave and the Bold did, which is it's what you thought you were watching when you watched 60s Batman.
Yeah.
That's what these both are, respectively. So Space Ghost is the kind of darker space opera that you thought you were watching when you watched that show.
Yeah.
And Captain Planet is the like X-Men-esque melodrama that you thought you were watching when you watched Captain Planet. Although that show holds up shockingly better than I thought it would.
Well,
it would going back to it. I bought the new DVD set that came out, and I've watched a few episodes of that again, and it's as good as X-Men. I'm surprised that I'm saying that.
It's amazing too, because I forget just how stacked the cast is too.
Right. Yeah.
That
is the thing everybody remembers. But
and I mean, I haven't gone back and rewatched a whole lot of it recently, but it does kind of amaze me too. Like hearing I need to just do a rewatch, because every so often, like, wow, I'm sorry, you start talking about AIDS on a kid's show back in the.
Yeah.
It's like you got real for that.
Yeah, well, and there's the first episode of season 2, and it's nuts they opened the season with this, is one of the darkest things I've seen in 90s cartoons. We're talking 1991 this came out.
Yeah.
They do an episode where I forget who, it's been a while since it was like a month ago I saw it. I think it was Linka gets addicted to drugs.
Yeah.
And you think it's going to be the typical, like, 90s PSA anti-drug thing where they're going to be real generic about it.
Yeah.
And, like, they make up their own thing, but I thought it would just be a metaphor for... No, it's actual drugs, and there's a pusher.
Wow.
There's like a street pusher.
Yeah.
That gets her addicted to it by, like, mixing it in food or a drink or something.
Right.
So she doesn't take it on purpose, but she gets... but some villain addicts to it, and then she can't. Obviously she's an addict now, and she has to get it any way she can get it, and then they hike the price up on her.
Yeah.
Like we're doing every part of drug culture in it.
Yeah.
It's nuts. And then I can't remember if it's like her sibling or just a friend she had. I can't remember, but somebody dies of a drug overdose, and then you expect somehow Captain Planet or Gaia or somebody will resurrect this kid.
Yeah.
Still dead by the end of the episode. Couldn't even believe it.
That is wild.
It's absolutely wild.
Yeah, I need to do a rewatch.
Yeah, it's heavy-handed, but like...
But it's also a 90s cartoon.
But like, it's not lame heavy-handed.
Right.
It's like, kids, this is what you're getting yourself into if you do this. Like, it's so much more effective than like Dare or it seems effective to me, than like any other drug thing I saw in the 90s. Like, if I don't remember that episode. If I had seen that, I would never touch anything. That thing would have scared the crap out of me, and that's by design.
It's not what was it that had like Alvin the Chipmunks and Elf and Garfield?
Yeah, that's not effective.
Yeah, that doesn't work. It's like,
no, I saw that in school.
Yeah, I did too, actually.
But no, I turned it on to watch with my 4-year-old twins.
Oh.
And I was just, like, devastated by it.
Yeah.
And they're young enough, they didn't get what was going on, so they were just kind of watching a Captain Planet episode.
Yeah.
They just looked confused. But I got to the end of that, and I was like, I didn't know
I wasn't
this
prepared.
Show. Yeah, I didn't know it went to, like, 70s Green Arrow places. Nuts,
Daniel O'Neill here with the razor.
Killer Moth, Dynamite has really struck gold with that WB deal. I I mean, they're not missing a beat with it.
Right.
They have not missed opportunities with that. Really interested in their upcoming Blue Falcon stuff. Oh, wow. This has been a good stream, by the way. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it. Yeah, the Blue Falcon thing looks neat. It's not my thing. I don't care.
Yeah, like Blue Falcon's not something I ever was really super invested in, but
here's what's hilarious about it to me. So I keep seeing solicitations for that, and it's like a dark Blue Falcon. Is it Dynamite or is it? It's not
Dynamite.
Is it Dynamite?
I think.
Because didn't Space Ghost also have a thing with Dynamite? Is it the same character?
Maybe. Well, I also know that they were on Harvey Birdman for a while too.
Yeah. But anyway, so I keep seeing these solicitations that make Blue Falcon look real dark, and there is a Scooby-Doo Blue Falcon movie.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen that? We did a rewind on it a few months ago. I actually really liked it.
Right.
And there is it's a kind of satire on bringing back things and doing dark remakes.
Yeah.
And they do that with Blue Falcon in that, where they're making a dark Blue Falcon movie, and it's about a washed out actor that played Blue Falcon. So they do like the Grey Ghost thing with it.
Oh, nice.
And it's really great. And it's not Adam West, but it could have been Adam West.
Could have been Adam West, yeah.
And
they got like Gary Oden or somebody to do the voice.
This comic looks like that fake movie that's in that movie.
I'm already sold now.
It's so weird.
Yeah.
Chewbacca's Lover, $2 super chat, do a commentary on the AIDS episode with Austin. Why would I do a two-parter when we do that and the drug pusher overdose episode?
Exactly, yeah. I'm getting you signed up for all sorts of vaults now.
Cartoon All-Stars, that's what it was called. Thanks, Bob the Hun. Anyway, so I guess I recommend this if you have any nostalgia for Captain Planet, but I think it's the same thing with Space Ghost. If you have no connection to this, you're likely not gonna care. Like, it's fun as a reimagining of that quaint, like environmental message pushy cartoon that you used to watch.
Right.
And so it does all of that stuff, but it's like a little smarter. They also aged the characters up.
Yeah.
Which I appreciate.
Right.
His voice for sorry, I'm blanking, the African guy, is
Kwame, is it?
Kwame,
Yeah,
thank you,
Kwame.
yes. Is great.
Yeah.
And he comes in and he's he's like the leader from the very start.
Yeah.
And then he's got to deal with realizing that you can't just delegate and boss everybody around and go like, you go there and you go there. Like, you have to let your team be creative. And so there's some decent kind of team building stuff in it. I also like that they're still allowing Wheeler to be a full-on womanizer.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that, but he just starts hitting on Linka immediately.
Right.
She's like... She might be my favorite character right away because she's so over the top. They made her like a punk rocker who... so she's got like goth gear.
I think I heard that they made her
and she's she's a full-on anarchist.
Yeah, I think I heard that they basically made her a member of popular Russian punk group whose name we can't say in this channel because it's a family show.
Okay.
Yeah, a certain riot of some sort.
But that's fun. So I don't know. I'm liking it so far.
Yeah.
I still don't understand why Captain Planet has a beard, but like I'm fine with it.
Sooner or later, we'll introduce Captain Mission Hill. Just if you can tolerate Bryce Posehn, because I know you're not. Actually, no, it's not Brian Posehn that you have the issue with. It's I
don't even know what we're talking about right now.
Oh yeah, back on Cartoon Network talk.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But issue 4 is already going to be doing Captain Pollution.
Nice.
So I'm stoked. So I'm stoked about that. He's doing the same thing that he does in Space Ghost, where he's really throwing villains out. Real early and having them all team up pretty this early. I'm worried that I'm seeing a little bit of a formula with his writing for this stuff, though, where like introduce a lot of villains and then have them all come together in a big cabal.
Yeah.
And I mean, it makes sense with Space Ghost. You're gonna have the Council of Doom. It makes sense with Captain Planet that they all come together pretty quickly and get evil rings and make Captain Pollution in the cartoon.
Yeah.
The problem is just it's the same guy, so I'm seeing him do the same thing in both.
He's got his.
It's not fair. It just
Right.
I'm noticing the same thing.
He's got a formula that kind of works for him at least, and that might just be a case of he's got a contract and he's like, okay, I've got like 10 issues to do what I need to do. Better do where I can. Better do everything I want to do.
Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't even have noticed it if it wasn't the same guy.
Yeah,
probably. So here is the new Space Ghost #1. So this is Space Ghost Season 2 #1. I wish it said Season 2 on it.
Yeah,
because it looks like they just renumbered the thing too quickly. But it does make sense.
Yeah,
and this is the best issue of the series so far.
Really?
I freaking loved this. There's a villain that I'm not familiar with. I don't know if it's made up or from that show. It's probably from that show. That's the Toy Maker. That's kind of like Toyman and Superman, except scarier. Well, I mean, there's a lot of different Toymans, but this one's real powerful, so he's kind of scarier. But he's got Space Ghost kidnapped from the very start and does just crazy, like, evil toy things to Space Ghost. It's really inventive. There's a part where he, like, and his design is cool and creepy. And there's this part where he takes Space Ghost and somehow makes him like a card deck and like shuffles him. And it's real inventive.
Oh, wow,
it's super cool looking. And the drama with the kids and their grandfather introduced at the end of the annual is good and heartfelt. And it's the first time that they're like completely cut off from Space Ghost, and so we're going back and forth between two different stories. But it's an okay jumping on point, I guess, if you didn't read the first season, but I don't know why anybody would jump in now necessarily.
Yeah.
If you care at all about Space Ghost, I would say you really should go back and start from the start so that you can get all the cool old villains and stuff. But I don't know. I really dug it again. And then I finally read 12, which I had read the annual before I read 12, so like I'm reading backwards now.
That's how you do it.
But in 12, you get to see all of the villains before they're all mind controlled, trying to work together as the Council of Doom, and the nods to the Cartoon Network Space Ghost stuff with Brack and Zorak being like irritated with each other is fun. They finally gave us that, so that was great. You're gonna be shocked when I say this. So this is Power Rangers Ninja Turtles 3 #1.
Okay.
So we are making this a trilogy now. I am not the biggest fan of Power Rangers Ninja Turtles.
Right.
I think even for a crossover, it's been overly gimmicky.
Yeah.
And I was not the I never want to throw shade at Freddie Williams.
Yes.
He's a nice guy.
He is, yeah.
I like his art fine. I didn't love it in that.
Right.
The heavy outlines around all the characters. It's just not my thing. Like for this material.
Right.
They've switched artists for this. This one is not Freddie Williams. And I got this variant. It's lovely. This is written by Ryan Perot. And Perot did all the best Power Ranger stuff.
Really?
Yeah. So it's really nice seeing him here. I don't remember if he wrote 1 or 2. I didn't think so. Maybe he did.
Right.
If so, he's more on his game here. Because I don't even remember. This is Vincenzo Federici, and he is channeling Matteo Santaluco so hard.
I can see that, yeah.
And I feel like I'm getting to see the Power Rangers in that style with the Turtles. This was an absolute friggin' treat, and the best thing by far I read last week. No, I can't say by far.
Right.
I read a couple of really great things last week.
Yeah.
The Power Rangers special was one, or the Powerpuff Girls special was one of them.
Right.
This is more like goofy crossover that made me feel stuff at the end.
Yeah.
Which I was surprised by. We're potentially pushing envelopes with this. There's a big plot point that happens at the end of this that is shocking, and I'll be sad if they don't stick with it by the end.
Yeah.
Because this is an alternate continuity, and you can do anything you want to with it.
Right.
But it just shocked the crap out of me. You've got Shredder and Zed finally teaming up together.
Right.
And it's so fun to see that. I have a Zed statue and a Shredder statue, and I want to put them next to each other
together
now.
too. Yeah, it's like, nope, they're friends now.
it's more of that, like, good kind of fan service.
Yeah.
But also some decent, if not, like, admittedly shallow sort of storytelling.
Yeah.
Because it's the Power Rangers, or the Turtles are, like, trapped in the Power Rangers universe, I think is where we're at.
Yeah.
By the way, it reads fine. I think without reading the other two, I think it catches you up on the status quo just fine.
Yeah.
But it is an extension of those where we just drop you in and we don't have to deal with the like
how did we get here?
How did we get here and all of that? So that's kind of nice.
Yeah.
So if you like those properties and you haven't read the other stuff, you get to just drop into a fun situation.
Yeah.
And that's nice. But it's these two villains have teamed up and they're throwing all their stuff at both of our teams, and even combined, our teams are having a really hard time with it. And we have foot soldiers that are human foot soldiers, but have the Z-Putty shields on them.
Nice.
And that's wonderful.
Yeah.
And you got Shredder, like, hanging out on Zed's chair, and you got Zed, like, bossing Shredder around because he's, of course, the more powerful of them, and he's not going to let Shredder act superior to him. That dynamic is really great. You get to see Zordon and Splinter together in the command center, giving sage wisdom at the same time.
That really does sound like the best kind of fan service. That's like exactly what you want from a property like that.
Every page made me happy.
Yeah.
And especially the art. It's so pretty.
Yeah.
Again, I'm sorry, Freddie Williams. I'm digging on this a little bit better than his stuff. It's a taste issue. It's all it is.
Yeah.
God, it made me happy.
I tried to get a sketch cover from Freddie Williams a couple of years ago, and he was like, "I'd love to, but I've got like a 6-month backlog." Like,
I think you told that story.
Yeah, I probably did. Yeah.
Dan Schneider, make Cap watch Mission Hill.
Yes.
Good Star Trek jokes. I don't know what that is.
It's a cartoon. It's
Okay.
It was. I think it was one of those that was on like Fox, but migrated to like Adult Swim.
Okay.
Kind of like The Oblongs, kind of like Family Guy. It had like Brian Posehn was like the friend, and I want to say like there was somebody else who was on it. But yeah, it was just one of kind of. I mean, I really enjoyed what I've watched of it too. I can't say the word Kafka-esque without thinking about that show.
Okay.
So yeah,
I haven't even heard of this.
Yeah, no. But when you do watch it and we do see the Brian Posehn character, you will understand. You won't look at the Captain America of that book the same way again.
Oh, crazy.
At least with his beard.
Oh, Captain Planet.
Captain America.
I just didn't know what we were talking about for a second.
I was talking about All-Star when I meant Absolute.
So the second best book I read last week, and maybe this should be tied, I did really dig on Kryptonite Spectrum. So we talked about this last week.
It looked good.
This is the first issue of this new Black Label book that's written and drawn by people that folks were shocked would do this. I don't know these guys. What is it that they did that everybody was like, oh, I can't believe they're doing Superman? I forget.
Oh, it was the Ice Cream Man. It was the horror book.
I never heard of that. I don't know anything about Ice Cream Man.
I've heard of it. I haven't read it, but I've heard it's supposed to be like kind of good.
Yeah, so W. Maxwell Prince and Martin Morazzo. I've heard that these guys famously don't like superhero comics.
Right.
You'd never know it reading this.
Yeah.
Maybe they don't like current superhero and they miss Silver Age, because that's how this reads.
Right.
But it's got...
we don't have a Garth Ennis, The Boys situation. We don't have Homelander in this.
Well, and also, like, this goes to slightly dark places, but I would give it to my 10-year-old, certainly, at least so far. So the premise with this is a new set of Kryptonite Spectrum has been found. And so there were 4 colors of kryptonite. There are now 4 more. And the book will explore what these other colors of kryptonite do to Superman.
Yeah.
And so Superman and Batman are in an isolated place experimenting to see what the kryptonite does to Superman, so that they'll be prepared for it if somebody gets their hands on it.
No, yeah.
And this was Superman's idea.
Yeah.
Where he's like, we have to test it on me, and Batman's like, that's a crazy person plan.
Yeah.
We can't do that.
Right.
We should destroy it. And Superman says, no problem is... I really like their voice for Superman.
Yeah.
He says, no solution for any problem is ever that easy. Like, somebody might find these colors. We need to know what they do.
Yeah.
And I kind of bought that he did that.
Right.
And so the first kind of kryptonite has this really interesting effect on him where... I don't want to give too much away with this. Everybody that likes Superman should read this.
Yeah.
It was very refreshing, and especially if you like the Gun movie, because their sensibilities are really similar to Gun sensibilities. I think.
Right.
The timing of this is really interesting.
Yeah.
Because it feels almost influenced by that movie in a way it can't possibly be.
And sometimes that happens too. Like I know last week, even though we were talking about Brian Azzarello's more edgier tendencies, but his Joker book just happened to end up out the same time as The Dark Knight, as the Heath Ledger Joker movie, and that was just complete like kismet,
But yeah, so Superman gets hit with this, and again on purpose, with this kind of kryptonite that at first seems to just kind of disorient him and give him like weird hallucinations where he's not understanding what people are saying correctly, and it takes you a few pages to even understand what's happening, like what exactly it's doing to him. By the way, I expected this book. I said weird. It's weird in the sense that they're just doing really cool creative things with kryptonite and with these characters. Also, sorry, I'm jumping around. Their Lex is written a lot like this new movie Lex, and he's trying to. He feels like his team should have gotten to this kryptonite before Superman could, and so now he's backtracking, trying to figure out how to get like his hands on it, and how to like outdo Superman with this kryptonite. And so he's got Emil Hamilton there, blaming this classic Lex, like blaming Emil Hamilton for not getting to it first, and saying like, as soon as I don't need you anymore, you're fired. It's really funny, but it's a lot more straightforward than I expected it to be, just the way people were talking about it. Like I kept hearing people say, like, this is the most bizarre thing I've read in a long time. And so I thought it was gonna be like
absolute Martian Manhunter too.
Well, no, that's not what I was gonna say. I thought it was gonna be like that weird modern Neil Adams Superman book or something. You just couldn't even follow what the hell is in it.
And
it's not like that. The art is kind of odd and real Silver Age throwback. And it reminded me of something more recent, but I can't tell you what. What does that remind you of?
My first thought was it kind of has like not quite like Tim Sale, but like a little bit more subdued. Like
there is
Tim
a little bit of Tim
Sale
with, you're absolutely right about that.
I'm blanking on the guy that did All-Star this time, that did All-Star Superman, that did like
Quietly,
kind of like a sort of a combination of those almost.
There you go.
That's at least my thought.
Thank you.
Yeah,
because that was driving me nuts.
Yeah,
you're right, and I would go to both of those.
Like
guys.
Tim Sale and
right.
Quietly, that point, like right in the middle is that book. Yeah.
So what it turns out this kryptonite is actually doing to Superman is it wends its way around and becomes like a temporary new power, kind of, but not one you can really control.
Right.
So he's experiencing different time periods at the same time, and he can read the future.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what it turns out he's doing. And he ends up having to fight a villain. I guess I won't say who.
Right.
While being disoriented and seeing the future. And there's a really good, like, dramatic plot point that happens with him and Lois because of that, where he sees something she says in the future way earlier, and you don't realize when it happens.
Yeah.
And you don't know, like, when this, like, future radar is, so it's like, it could be tomorrow, it could be, like, a week from now.
Yeah.
And there's this... So, you're seeing all these panels out of order. where he keeps jumping back and forth in time.
Yeah.
Not actually in time, but his perception, right?
Yeah.
He's seeing different time periods.
He's like Dr. Manhattaning it. Yeah.
And then we do this. I can't remember if it's a double page spread or just one. I think it's a double page spread, where you take all of those panels and finally put them in order.
Nice.
It's great. But yeah, I was in love with this. I thought this was spectacular.
I looked for it at the shop. I didn't find it. So again, probably gonna have to shop bounce.
And again, this is not the main cover. I got this cool variant.
Yeah.
There was also like a foil variant that was a couple $2 more, and I might have gotten that, but I didn't love the design on it. I liked this a lot more. And this is real indicative of what happens in the story. Okay, I'll rush through this other stuff because that was stuff I read.
Yeah.
I did reviews. Apologies.
Yeah.
Thundercats Powerpuff Girls #2 came out last week. I haven't even read the first issue yet. I'm just buying that because I collect Powerpuff Girls. Resurrection Man Quantum Karma #5 came out 2 weeks ago, but I wasn't. I was out of town, and so this was in my pull list or in my pull box. So I finally got that. I need to catch up on these. As I've said before, I read the first 2 issues and I thought it was just absolutely brilliant and kind of horrifying.
Yeah.
And then some recent back issue stuff. I got this Penguin 12 cover just because I really liked this cover.
Oh, yeah.
I thought this was kind of beautiful.
That is a good cover, yeah. Who's
Isn't that great?
Yeah, who does the covers for the...
I don't know. You're gonna make me waste time opening it.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
How dare you? We're gonna screw up our 9/8.
There you go.
I'm gonna keep
get
saying
those
it.
get those spine ticks.
I can't stop saying it. It's not funny yet. I can't even figure out who the hell. Tom King did this book.
Oh.
Raphael Latore is the artist for the book. Who did this variant? Felipe Massacera? I don't know who that is.
I think I've heard of him.
Okay. Well, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's lovely. Anyway.
Yeah.
I think that's the variant, not the A cover, but I'm not 100% sure. Anyway, I wasn't prepared for that question. And then other sort of more recent things. I bought this Spider-Man 2099 symbiote variant.
That is a great cover.
This is an old Marvel masterpiece.
Yeah.
That I think is a 90s card that I had, or it's a throwback to that. I'm not sure.
Some Hildebrand stuff there, too.
But I'm a 2099 collector, so I had to have that. Now, did you know, so this actual book is Symbiote Spider-Man 2099. Did you know about this?
Did not know about this, no.
I didn't either. So this is number 4 of that book. This is from almost exactly a year ago.
Uh-huh.
And Peter David wrote this.
Oh, wow.
And, of course, he just passed away. But Peter David, I didn't realize, was doing more 2099 that recently.
Yeah.
And I used to collect everything 2099 that came out.
Right.
I'm obsessed with this costume. It's my favorite.
It's a great
Spider-Man
costume.
suit.
No.
And I'll die on that hill. It's my favorite. But I quit buying it because it became like Venom, where it was just so oversaturated that I didn't need everything 2099. Right. But if Peter David wrote it, now I got to go back and get the rest of these because David actually worked on it. So I got to have that. I got the new Batgirl #1. You remember I bought an issue of this a few weeks ago. I think before you were on. That I really liked, and I don't know if I'm going to keep on this series, but I figured the #1 I'd go ahead and grab. It's a good cover.
I love Cassandra Cain.
I love Cassandra Cain. Oh yeah, this whole series is Cassandra Cain.
Nice.
And it's really good.
Yeah.
And then here's an old thing. I spent $8 on this, Krez.
Oh.
These are a little valuable. This is Pinky and the Brain #16. From the late 90s. And the reason I bought this is I own only one other issue of Pinky and the Brain, and it's the first Terminator parody that they did, which is Brain on the cover as a Terminator. And I didn't know they did a follow-up a few issues later, so this is Verminator 2, and it's Pinky as a Terminator.
Nice.
And I went,
okay, that's amazing.
Well, I have to have the counterpart.
Yeah, exactly.
I gotta have them both.
You need to have both Pinky and the Brain.
So, yeah, occasionally I'll splurge on a thing like this. That's an $8 book. It's probably fair market value, like $10 or $12.
Yeah.
So I was like, I guess I'm getting that. And then I'm half caught up all of a sudden on Dynamite Powerpuff Girls. My shop got some of these back in, and I had to pay cover for all of these. But I guess they're selling well enough, or they did a small enough print run that I can't get them for half cover.
Yeah.
But here is, these covers are great. Here's 4.
Nice.
Here's 5. We brought back the Dynamo.
Yes. Yes.
I'm so excited about that. Here's 7. They're really pretty.
They really are, yeah.
Oh, and here's 6.
I like that one, too.
Yeah. So I haven't read these yet, but I love the covers. I'm very happy with them. That was $20. Those 4, I don't care.
Either way, worth it.
And then I did go ahead and get the facsimile for Batman Harley Quinn, the old Paul Dini book, of course. Her first appearance in continuity, and this is the actual real book is like an $80 book.
Yeah.
I decided to get the facsimile because that might be a placeholder if I ever finally pull the trigger on that book.
Yeah.
But also, I've never read that, but I don't love the interior. I've never liked the art in that, which is part of the reason I've never read it.
Right.
So it's got this brilliant cover that's, of course, iconic and everybody knows it.
Alex Ross,
But the interiors are just the wrong kind of cartoony for me. So I can't get excited about owning that just because it's her first appearance in mainstream. Nico's photo, they do look pretty. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, exactly.
It's fantastic. It's fantastic. And then So I posted about this on the community tab, but Chris...
Yes.
I got a really good deal on these. I now have all 6 current... 7 is about to come out in November. I have all 6 of the Spawn compendiums.
You were talking about those.
Heavy tomes.
A phone book. Wow.
Yeah, they are phone books.
Yeah.
My wife got a package in the mail like a week ago. And she goes, Cap, because my wife calls me Cap.
Yeah,
she does not. She goes, I think your Spawn books might have come in. And I took one look at the packet and I said, what else did you order?
Right.
Because it was small and not heavy enough.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't think you realize how big these books are. Right. And she was like, no, it might be that. And I was like, I'm telling you, there's no possible way.
Yeah.
The package that I got is going to be at least 20 pounds. She didn't believe me until it got here.
Right.
And then she went, oh, okay. I'm lucky these weren't in real piss poor shape.
Right.
Because the package I got was real dinged up and didn't look very good.
Yeah.
And it was also not packaged super well.
Really?
So, yeah, they were not horribly damaged, but I'm kind of lucky they weren't.
Did you order these from like a shop or like a private collector? Or
I just ordered them on eBay.
Or eBay, wow.
Yeah, so there was a lot that somebody had them on average for the lot. Average them out for about $30.
Yeah.
Which is half cover for these.
Right.
And typically I can get most of them for between $35 and $45.
Yeah.
But a couple of them tend to sell a little closer to cover. These are $60 covers.
Oh wow.
So I probably saved about $100 buying them this way.
Look, savings are savings.
And I was going to get these one every couple months for a while because they're in print and they're not hard to get right now.
Right.
And I ended up getting all of them in one go. I had one already, so I have an extra copy.
Yeah.
So I've got to decide what I'm going to do with that extra copy. I'm either going to sell it or maybe do a giveaway. I haven't decided what I'm going to do with it yet. But anyway, so I got the first 300 issues in trade. I used to have the full collection of these. I still regret selling it.
Yeah.
I talked about that recently. So now I've at least got these in some way. I still don't feel good about it, Chris. There are still some singles I will probably rebuy at some point.
Yeah.
But I got to be careful not to go crazy and want to get all of it again.
That's fair. I mean,
and you'd think, well, you're looking right at it. Yeah, but you guys got to understand the kind of collector I am. I missed them. I'm mad at myself for selling them.
Yeah.
I wish I'd never done it.
Well, like
all you can do is move on.
Yeah.
And so at least
after Spawn year, you were in a rough spot.
Yeah, I was in a vulnerable place.
Yes,
Chris. That's exactly right. So I'm very excited about these crappy comics that I bought, mostly.
Sometimes you're just like, I hate these, but I love these.
Somebody asked me the other day about the covers. Oh look, there's Gunslinger in 175. This is before he gets his own series.
Hey.
This is beautiful. See, you look at this stuff for the art. You might as well not even read the stories.
Yeah.
Because nothing happens in them.
Mm-hmm.
But I am really digging what I don't even know who drew this. I'm really digging what this looks like. That's awesome.
Wow.
Super cool. Anyway, I have not read past 150. Not one. I'm sorry, 150, 220. You know what? Actually, that said 175. I've read this. I've reviewed this, but I don't remember it. Okay. Crazy. I thought that was later than it was.
Say Spawn Year was a lot too. Let's be fair. You were a lot hit all at once.
It was a lot.
It was a lot.
Anyway, but yeah, I'll mention this real quick. Somebody asked me about this the other day, even though I have mentioned this on the show before, or on some program that we do, Chris.
Yeah, somewhere, right.
But it is irritating that these don't include the covers.
Yeah.
Which is the reason I wasn't sure if I was going to keep getting them after the first compendium.
You would think they'd at least put like a gallery or something in the back too.
So what they did instead is they made it a separate product. So they put those out in hardcovers. There are 3 of them so far. So you can get you can get them in 100 issue sets where it's 100 covers at once.
Right.
And I've shown off I bought the first one and I've shown that off in another show. And at first I didn't like it until it came in. And it's a hardcover. It's real pretty. You can look at the covers apart from the issues. I wish they did both, because I would probably still buy it that way just to be able to thumb through it and just look at the covers. But it doesn't feel like a waste to me, because I would rather have all the covers together. Now, you're right. The solution would be put them all in the back.
Yeah. But
But these are so thick already.
They're so thick, yeah. And I know, like, I've seen series where they've released, like, the covers just in their own volume. Preacher did that. They had all the Glenn Fabry covers just in one, like, collection. Which, I mean, those covers were so, like, incredible, too. I can't really blame them, but still.
Anyway, so that's all the stuff that I bought last week. Chris.
Yes. I'm right here.
We're running so late again.
Yeah.
We suck at this.
Look, that's why it's comic book late night. We're getting real late with this.
We have, you know what? I like that twist on it.
Exactly. Yeah.
That, like, no, it's intentional, folks.
No, yeah, we call it late night. You're here for a late night.
Yeah, like, starting at 10 o'clock is not late enough. You gotta run out the clock.
Exactly, yeah.
You gotta run it out.
If that sun doesn't come up, then what are we even doing? If you don't hear the birds, what are you doing? Everybody with insomnia is just I know birds.
Remind us, Chris, when will the sun come out?
Tomorrow.
It's only a day. It's not even a day away now.
In
fact, it's here already. Tomorrow is here,
it is,
Chris.
Yeah. Look, it's a hard knock life. It's a hard.
Chris, I just have to reiterate how much more fun this has been with you. I have to reiterate.
I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to be here.
At least before the Lincaro fiasco.
Yeah.
I'm just giving you crap. So, Chris.
Yes.
Can you remind everyone what last week's cover of the week was?
Teen Titans, number 13. It's the one with...
Oh, no, not Flash. We're doing that later.
Exactly. I mean, that's a good cover.
I got to drop that out. We got to bring that back later.
We'll fix it in post.
So this is Teen Titans number 13, the random issue that came up on the phone shake from Chris last week. The odds of this were astronomical. This is an issue that my daughter, Selena, picked out with me. She's 4.
Yeah.
And I let her pick out an issue out of a box, and she thought this one looked cool, so we took it home.
Right.
And that was 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
And out of... Now, I think my count is 10,057. You shook it, and this came up. The odds are astronomical.
It was destiny.
This is 2004. This is Jeff Johns on Teen Titans. We have an ad in the physical issue, Chris.
Oh.
Right at the opening of this for the only thing worse than the Catwoman movie, which is the Catwoman video game. Look at that!
Wow.
So I was excited right at the start.
I don't know. I mean, this Catwoman movie did kind of give me motion sickness. It's like, this cinematography so bad. Oh.
Chris, she has claws, a whip, stilettos, but no mercy. That's what it says.
You know, I can't even be mad at that.
I love how they're advertising this game too. They give you two tiny
little screenshots
that aren't even gameplay screenshots. They're from cutscenes, and then they just show Halle Berry from the movie or like a production still, right?
Yeah.
They know how bad it is.
They do, yeah. It's like, look, we'll downplay the actual game. We just got power of Halle Berry.
So you mentioned to me that you're not a big Teen Titans guy. I'm not either. Yeah. I was surprised by this. This is quite good.
You know, I did enjoy it, but like the one thing too is I do kind of like that Beast Boy's origin was that he was bit by a green monkey.
Yeah, no, it's hilarious.
That is kind of...
It's ridiculous.
But you know what's funny too is it's kind of the opposite of the Daredevil book we read last week. Mm-hmm. Where that was such a standalone. Here, there's like 5 different like plot threads going on at the same time.
Yeah, that's true. But it was a good kind of sampler just to see what this book was. Like, you're right, we're dropped right in the middle of things that I don't even know what's happening.
And that's not necessarily a bad thing, too. And a lot of the stuff that's set up, even if you know you're also Raven has a tramp stamp now. Which
it's a good one.
It's a good. I respect the tramp stamp.
Yeah, there's a whole. I related to this. There's this whole section about tattoos.
Yeah, I do love the bit with the green. Is that Bart as Kid Flash?
I think it is.
Yeah,
it's a Kid Flash.
But his metabolism going so fast that it cures his tattoo.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
That was a great bit.
Which makes sense.
Yeah,
because it is technically a wound.
It is. Yeah, no, for sure.
So what I most dug about this, like the Beast Boy origin stuff was fine.
Yeah,
like I don't know anything about Beast Boy, so I felt like I was getting an education.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
That was all right. Mm-hmm. I felt like he was sympathetic enough, and I felt for him to some degree, and it kind of informed his like sarcastic, jokey attitude.
Yeah.
Like he felt less obnoxious. Seeing like how he got his powers.
Yeah.
And it was kind of a like goofy sort of situation where like here's the most important creature to ever walk the earth because it could cure damn near everything, and it bites this kid.
Yeah, it turns him green and gives him like animal powers.
And then, you know, that makes me think that doctor was wrong about it, and if they synthesized some kind of medication with it, it would just turn everyone into shapeshifters?
It does which, I mean, that's kind of what happens, too.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, that's true, because then it looks like it could be an epidemic or something, where you get to the end of it and somebody else ends up with his
powers.
There's
like a green elephant running through the school, yeah.
I guess not an epidemic, because isn't it that typical comic plot twist where somebody else does what he does, and then you get to the end, I've lost my power!
Yeah, and there's like an evil school nurse, you know, that's doing that.
Yeah.
And it's like,
it is an evil school nurse, that's true.
So, yeah, it does kind of make me want to go back and see if I can find like Beast Boy's origin to see if that's how it actually happened too. Because again, like
I'm sure it's Jeff Johns just doing his own thing.
Jeff Johns
creative license, but
well, I mean that's basically his Flash run too.
Yeah, no, of course. But it was interesting reading him this early because I don't know if I had read Jeff Johns quite this early before.
Yeah, and like I know he did. I've been meaning to go back and look at like his JSA stuff because I've heard that's supposed to be pretty good, and I know like that plays into not only do you have like Stargirl that goes into like the Starman stuff. Not only do you have like Ma Hunkle's granddaughter, his Cyclone granddaughter, the original Red Tornado. Which, I mean, look, I do love me some Ma Hunkle.
I can't believe some of the crap you know, dude.
Yeah. Let's talk about this obscure character that showed up in one issue in 1942.
I feel like such a fraud when I have you on the show. So the coolest thing about this issue for me was just Stephanie Brown showing up.
Yeah.
Which is neat timing because I just bought that great issue I've been after forever.
Right.
Issue 12 with her.
Yeah, you were just talking about
the Batgirl.
Her like origin,
well, that's not an origin thing.
Well, not the origins, but her like big. Well, that was like her. Was it? Did you buy her first appearance, or was that one of the other books we pulled in this? I can't remember.
No, I'm sorry. That was a Cassandra Cain thing.
Oh.
That was recent. I'm talking about
yeah.
that Batgirl 12 I bought. That's that famous cover where she's got blood on her lip and she's smiling.
Yes,
that's with the tattered costume.
That's what I'm thinking of.
I've got a poster for over here. But anyway, I got
like 5 different things in my head right now.
I just spent $30 on a single Stephanie Brown issue, and then she just shows up in this.
Yeah.
And I really like her interaction with Connor Kent Superboy.
Right.
Where's
Robin?
Like,
I am Robin.
She's like, I am Robin. And then Batman shows up and it's like, yeah, that's Robin.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, okay.
Can you give me his address? Can you give me his Robin's no, I can't,
he's
actually.
Like, well, where's the other Robin? And because I haven't been reading this, I have no idea what's going on. Like, I don't know where Tim Drake is. Like, I don't know what's actually happening.
Yeah.
But this was just a fun exchange, and I really like the art in this section a lot. And the whole thing was worth it just for this stuff to me.
Yeah.
But I think the issue overall juggles its characters pretty well.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
But it's funny, this almost looks like it's drawn by somebody else.
Yeah.
Are you having that?
I was thinking that too. Like, the Batman bits look so different from the rest of the book.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's like a coloring issue.
Kind of more
or
detailed. I have no idea. And I don't think it's drawn by somebody else, but it just sort of looks like it to me.
I mean, they could be like, again, I have to go back and look, see who was drawing Batman at the time, see, maybe they're trying to ape a style, maybe they're trying to make it look similar, but it's just weird because it looks just different enough. And like the actual page with the big like hero shot of Batman, that looks different from even that little bit too. I mean...
Oh, Austin brought up the whole changeling thing. Yeah, that is weird. Then Dan's Den explains it and says he was originally called Beast Boy. Wolfman and Perez changed it to Changeling because they thought it sounded too Silver Age. And then Austin says Beast Boy is a better name than Change. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I never liked the Changeling thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's...
I don't have a dog in it. I'm not a Beast Boy guy, but...
Yeah, and like, it's actually funny, though, because my, girlfriend's brother got like a whole bunch of like hero clicks, and he was trying to put them together. You know, he's not like a superhero guy, he's not a comics guy, and he's like, well, this is Beast Boy, but who the hell's Changeling? And it's like, okay, so let me sit you down for a second.
Your answer is yes.
The answer is yeah. She got like they got like a really nice Phoenix out of that too. Like the big...
Oh, cool.
Fire. Yeah, I'll have to show it to you too. It's really...
So, I actually used to have a HeroClix collection.
Mm-hmm.
I've never played the game.
Yeah.
I have no idea how it works.
Right.
Vince gave me all of his at one point, and then I bought some other ones at a yard sale at some point.
Yeah.
And I ended up selling it just because I never learned to play it.
Yeah. Like
that I don't regret like I do Spawn.
Right. I mean, it's funny though because, like, again,
they looked cool.
Yeah, and like I'm a big TTRPG guy, so like I've thought about at least using them as minis for like Mutants and Masterminds.
That would be good for that. And they're the right size for that. They're pretty small.
And again, like reading Wizard magazine back in the day too, they were all over those, and it's like they look cool. The actual sculpting is amazing. But
Tyler's right. I also covered the first spoiler story a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I know.
That's the other reason that it's odd.
I knew we mentioned it too.
No, you're right. I forgot about that. Right, because that cover came up and somebody went, "Oh, that's an important issue."
Yeah,
that's kind of a key. And then I popped it open, like, "Oh, that's why." It's the first time she's in costume.
Right. So yeah, but it's just kind of funny.
It's Stephanie Brown month.
Stephanie Brown month. Hey. But yeah, Teen Titans, it wasn't anything. He was in the Doom Patrol for a while too.
Oh, really?
I think so. Yeah, I think Beast Boy, he either was there or Changeling, but I think he was actually part of the Doom Patrol, and that was, the original. Who was it, like Bob Haney or somebody that did the original, like Silver Age Doom Patrol. He didn't show up in like the Morrison Vertigo stuff, as far as I know. But So, yeah, I don't know if he ever met Danny the Street, which kind of does break my heart a little.
Tyler says Tim's dad found out he was Robin and made him quit. Okay, I remember that plot point coming up somewhere.
Did that... Well, I'm trying to think, because I think it's been It's been a while since I've read Identity Crisis.
Maybe that was in there.
Well, that's where they killed off his dad. Too.
Okay.
Yeah, because that was like the
It's been too long.
Yeah, and there was that weird...
I reviewed that years ago.
Really?
Yeah.
And there's also that weird panel where, like, he tried to, like, pull off his Robin costume before he, like, checked on his dad. So it's just like...
Yeah,
So it's just like Batman holding, like, naked Robin while there's, like, a dead body. So...
What, did Mark Millar write this book?
I mean...
So anyway, Chris, are you ready to shake the phone?
I'm ready to shake the phone.
He's got the magic touch.
I want
him to do it again. Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
You excited to find out what our cover for next week will be?
I am.
I can't wait. Watch it be something really lame. Watch it be something that came out like last Thursday.
Who's ready for some Forbush, man?
All right, here we go. Make it good.
All right, let's see. We're going... Oh. Well, I mean,
Is it weird?
I mean, it's not. It's...
Oh. That's not super exciting. Okay.
Actually, what number is that?
Well, what I was going to say, I'm trying to decide if we should have a rule that it needs to be before a certain date and then just like shake it again, or if we are we gonna go back to 2015? Are we cool? I mean, that is a decade ago now.
Oh no! Don't remind me.
I know. Okay,
I'm gonna go walk into the ocean now.
So this is Bendis. This is All New X-Men number 40. So I would have talked about this somewhere. This was back when I was reviewing everything new that I was buying when it came out.
Yeah.
But yeah, so All New X-Men 40. So I guess we better pull that cover up. Nobody's going to be excited about this. But here it is. We'll go back down memory lane here.
Wow, yeah.
What a great cover. This is not a thing I would have bought for the cover. Look, here's Utopians. Yeah, that's what we're doing next time.
It's been a while, but was it Utopia, like Asteroid M, that just like crashed?
Maybe so.
I mean, it's...
I remember next to nothing about this.
Now,
I remember liking the Bendis X-Men books,
yeah,
to be fair. The only reason I'm complaining is that this is stuff I've talked about. I mean, it was years ago.
Right.
But Bendis had the two... like sister books that talk to each other a lot.
Yeah, and he also brought back like the original like 60s X-Men too.
Yes, that's right. Was that in this book or was that the other one?
I want to say...
Was it Uncanny and All New or was it another title? I can't remember.
It might be All New. I mean, there's an All New down there with
I know,
that cover. Yeah.
Oh, yes. No, that is what that was. So yeah, All New was the one that had the... But what I'm saying is Bendis' other book, was it Uncanny?
Might have been Uncanny too, because that's where you had like...
It's all coming back to me.
Now, was that post Schism or post?
Oh yeah, that's
yeah.
No, that's post AVX.
Post AVX, yes.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get my timeline right in my head too.
It's tough to remember. It's been so many years. I haven't cared in so long.
Yeah, fair. There was a spinoff that I really liked that was a Greg Rucka like standalone Cyclops book, where it's like young Cyclops going with his dad through space. Which, with, like, the Starjammer stuff like that, too.
I remember that.
Which, yeah, I remember that would be pretty good.
And he also had his Guardians book at the same time.
Yeah.
And they would talk to each other.
Yeah.
Because that Guardians book was
Kate Pryde showed up in that, too.
Yes, because that was constantly mired in crossover.
Right.
It was obnoxious.
Yeah. But that was also, like, right when they announced the movie, too. That's when they were trying to, if I remember right.
Austin says that's the infamous Iceman issue. And Tyler says it's the second to last issue of that book. Okay, that might be... it's also possible that I kept buying those, but at that point I wasn't even reviewing them anymore.
Yeah.
But I thought I talked about them going all the way up. I don't know, I might read that and be like, I've never read this before. That's possible.
Yeah.
So, I said you have the magic touch. This time it might not be, but it might turn out to still be...
We might read it and be like, okay, this is the...
I'm glad we're talking about this.
Yeah.
This is weird. Yeah. So we'll see. Okay, there's only one last thing to do tonight.
Yes.
We're gonna talk a little bit about... We'll do a minor spoiler review.
Right.
A sort of spoiler-free. We won't give away too much. Quick discussion, quick for us, on Absolute Flash.
Yes.
Jeff Lemire... Oh, sorry. Goodness.
Who wants to see your analytics?
Yeah, that's not the right...
There we go.
Scene. I found it.
Hey!
Look, it's 1 in the morning. You should be lucky I can click a mouse.
Fair, yeah.
So anyway, Jeff Lemire writing this. I didn't even realize that's who this was until I picked this up. So I was like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I love Lemire usually.
Yeah.
That's good. And Nick Robles is our artist. That's a name.
Right.
I hope that I'm pronouncing that right.
Yeah.
That's a name that I don't recognize.
Right.
His art is perfect for this book. I think.
Yeah,
And I think it's just precisely what this should look like for what they're going for.
Right. I do like the fact that so the Absolute books have kind of leaned into whatever their genres have been. And I do kind of think again you had like Batman, which is very like street level and over the top kind of in the same way, but still basically street level. You have like Superman, which leans into the sci-fi aspects, Wonder Woman, the kind of urban fantasy. The fact they're doing The Flash as a horror book, Jeff Lemire is doing this as like something that is unnerving, kind of disturbing. When it opens with Wally being like, "What's happening to me? Help!"
He does kind of the body horror thing.
Yeah,
but it's like pulp horror.
Yeah, exactly, and. I mean, there's also a little bit
in its way. Sorry, in its way, each of these kind of have their roots in a classic comic genre, which I hadn't really thought of until now.
Yeah,
but like you can pin them down to the obvious genres or subgenres, but you can also find the comic influences.
Yeah, and.
We haven't read Green Lantern yet. We're now 5 for the 6.
Yeah,
and even with Martian Manhunter, that's the most modern feeling of them.
But it still has like that pulp detective feel to it, even if it's really trippy.
Yeah, it's got that. You're right, and then it's got the kind of like Morrison trippy factor.
Yeah,
I was reminded so much of like Multiversity and stuff looking at that.
Yeah, I can definitely see that, and I mean,
so much variety in these.
It really is, yeah, and. Thinking back to like how much influence like Multiversity had and stuff too. Like going back to like the Ultimates, where you had like 3 plots happening in like 3 different thirds of the page too. How I think there's been a lot of experimentation with like just the format of comics.
That's right.
And the one thing
that's part of why this stuff feels so fresh.
Yeah,
is it's going. Everybody's burnt out on this medium, particularly with superheroes, and then you get to this stuff, and there's still stuff we haven't tried yet.
Yeah,
or stuff we haven't tried enough.
Right. And the one thing that I thought was kind of interesting with a lot of the speed effects and with a lot of, they made it just similar enough to like the capture boxes, so it almost feels like it's. Not one-on-one. Like, you can still tell where, like, dialogue and narration are.
That's a great point.
It almost does feel like the page itself is cracking. Or that the page itself that something broke on and scattered. And that
you're getting visceral with it.
Visceral, yeah. And I think that's one of the book's biggest strengths is the artwork with a lot of speed effects and a lot of... When you look at him running... And it's confusing. It's disorienting. You look and you're almost like, what's happening? Where do I even look with my eyes?
Let's back off for a minute and talk about the setup for this book and how it feels in comparison to the others.
Yeah.
So, first of all, let me say, every time we read another one of these, it makes me like the others I've read more.
Yeah.
This sense of variety and how interesting it will be to get to see these characters finally interact with each other. I feel like the team dynamic is going to be so interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Getting all these characters together, and all of them are distinctly different enough from their regular universe counterparts, but still feel like the spirit is there enough of those characters that they're authentically those characters, but also definitively uniquely their own thing. Flash is no exception, and this feels... I'm kind of glad we're reading this one later, because it feels kind of fresh to me in... Oh yeah, we haven't had a teenager yet. Like we haven't had somebody this young yet.
Right.
And it's weird because as more grounded, quote unquote, as Batman is, that book is way weirder and more over the top than this. This actually, in its way, feels more, I don't want to say real worldy, but feels more grounded even than Batman, because it has the one clear like super science or supernatural component to it.
Yeah.
And then it's I don't know, it's just straightforward and not wild and weird. And it's also Austin and I were talking about this earlier, and he I don't want to take credit for his point, but I agree with him on this. He said this is the lightest of them so far, and it's funny that you're saying it's this dark horror book. I mean, it starts that way and it goes to those places, but this is the one of all of these that I feel like I could hand to a 10-year-old and it wouldn't freak him out. Like, they all say 13 plus or at least 13 plus. This one, I feel like that's skewing older than it has to, at least for the first 5 issues.
Yeah, like the most... You're right, too, because like the most really violent stuff you see in it is you see like a dead body. You see like a couple, skeletons. But
I feel like just the attitude and the tone of it, is less heavy than those other titles, and it's also, I should say, and this is appropriate because it's the Flash,
right?
It reads the most at a clip.
It does, yeah. You can
these
like
5 issues take like 20 minutes to read tops.
Yeah, I mean, most of it too is just like, what's happening? I'm going so fast. And like the page you look at, and
it's not bogged down with narration.
It's not bogged down with narration.
There is narration, but there's not too much. It's not bogged down with that. I don't remember if I said this last week, but I felt like up to Wonder Woman was the fastest read.
Yeah.
Some of that it's just such a page turner. I got to find out what's going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't have that as much with this, but with this, it's just, there's a lot more space on a page.
Yes.
It's less wordy.
It relies on its visuals. It relies on the actual like page layouts. It relies on the actual like art and pencils, and
absolutely.
I will say, going back to like it being like a lighter book, you also have like friendlier characters. Like you have, I did just see, I know on at least one panel when they showed Barry's name, it was spelled with one R. I was wondering too if that's just how they spelled it in this issue, or if that was just like
I don't think so. I think that was a character making a mistake. I remember that being deliberate in the moment.
Right.
I can't remember why that was there.
Yeah.
But yes.
But then
I don't think that's how they spelled it.
But then later on too, you have he goes into like a homeless shelter with Ralph and Sue Dibney, and they don't have their powers yet. So I mean, there's a lot of like really supporting characters too, and they introduced Linda, and apart from like his dad, who's kind of the clear villain here, most of the characters just seem
kind of sort of an asshole, but sympathetic enough.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they seem by and large, the supporting cast just seems kind of pleasant too. That's for the most part, even when one of them's supposed to be Gorilla Grodd.
You know why I'm feeling like I'm glad you said that, because you sparked something in me. I wouldn't have thought of this.
Right.
The reason this feels like it's skewing younger to me is I could really see this as a like animated series aimed at like 13-14-year-olds.
Yeah.
It's got a bit of Young Justice to it.
I could see that, yeah.
Don't you think?
A little bit, actually, yeah. And even kind of the art is a little similar to the art style, so it's just a bit. I mean, just kind of looking at it now.
But it looks like an animated series.
Yeah.
So this was my experience with this, Chris. This is throwing no shade at this book whatsoever, because the quality of these all so far has been at a real high standard.
Yeah.
This was my least favorite of these so far.
Right.
Now, let me tell you why.
Yeah.
I'm not a Flash guy.
Yeah.
So this is going to be the biggest backhanded compliment I can give this.
Right.
I can tell, knowing Flash fans.
Yeah.
Because I've got some friends that are Flash fans.
Yeah.
And some of our audience. I can tell looking at this how much reverence it has for this material for Flash,
right?
Even as much of a reimagining as it is,
yeah.
And I can tell it's just right for that crowd, and I'm just not a big Flash guy,
right?
I don't know if you are.
I'm okay with Flash. Like I've been meaning to go back and do like we were just talking about Mark Waid earlier. I've been meaning to go back and read a lot of Waid stuff just because I like the show and I know that it took a whole bunch from them, and I know, like, there were some great, like, even like standalones too. Like, there's that one.
I've reviewed Born to Run, but I've never read any of the rest of it.
I mean, there was that one issue where somebody shoots Wally, the bullet hits him, and reflexively he freezes time. So then he has to go around and figure out, like, hey, who shot me just now? I mean, there's a lot of really, like, clever ideas in that, and I've been meaning to actually sit down, and I've got, like, again, little pieces here and there, just, you know, I went back and was like, okay, I should read the stuff I'm supposed to. So I just need to actually sit down and just go from, like, A to B.
So I want to compare this tonally real quick to some of the other absolute things.
Yeah.
And then I'll get past comparison. But
Yeah.
Batman, to date, well, okay, Martian Manhunter is the most full-on reinvented, obviously.
Yes, yeah.
Where it's Martian Manhunter almost like as a metaphorical
Yeah.
idea.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Batman, at least for the more grounded books that have reinvented, but not just been an analog like that is the most reinvented.
Yes.
And also the most, like, tonally doing its own thing.
Yeah, I mean...
But let me get through this real quick. Wonder Woman was, to me, the least full-on reinvented.
Right.
But had very much its own, like, tone and atmosphere.
Yeah.
Which is what I loved about it.
Yeah.
Because now we go to, like, this cool hell place with it, and that's where I live.
Yeah.
And then Flash has this really interesting thing, and I don't know if anybody else will agree with this, but this was the experience I had reading it. Flash was the opposite. For me, Flash was pretty reinvented as far as the origin goes, how he gets his powers, how we're doing the pseudo-legacy thing, where we kind of have two Flashes at the same time.
Right.
And, like, what we're doing with the rogues and all of that, but is the most, to me, in what I've read, tonally similar to its regular universe counterpart.
Yeah.
Particularly Jeff Johns. So we get there in a different way, but, like, Wonder Woman doesn't feel like Wonder Woman to me, but the character is, and her backstory's not as insanely different as some other things. This is very reinvented, but is like holding on to the feel of the Flash in a way some of the others aren't, and then Superman is just right down the middle. With all of that. Sorry, that's the kind of analysis I wanted to do with that.
You know what I thought more of reading this? Like, again, you know, there are, like, even if it's a book you could give to, like, all ages.
Yeah.
And, you know, you do have, like, the horror elements. But a lot of it kind of reminded me of, like, it kind of reminded me of the Hulk at times, too. Where you
Austin
had, like,
had that. He said the same thing.
Where you have, like, not General Ross. And you have, like, was it the human that...
Well, and the setting feels like that. Because they're out in the desert.
Out in the desert. You know, it's basically the military that's chasing them down, too.
And it is a lot like a gamma blast.
Yeah.
I think the reason I didn't think of it is because our main character, who is Wally West, which is going to make Flash fans happy.
Yes.
Our main character doesn't get his powers because of anything he did wrong.
Right.
And so Austin described it as if, like, Rick Jones became the Hulk instead of Banner, and that's kind of what this is.
Yeah.
But I was too distracted.
There's a what if issue about that too.
I know.
Yes.
But I was distracted. I don't know if you know this. I have an almost complete what if collection.
Oh, nice.
But I didn't think of that because I was too distracted by Dr. Manhattan. I just couldn't stop thinking about Dr. Manhattan.
Yeah, that's fair. I can see that too.
Particularly because of the ostensible disintegration that happens.
Right.
When the experiment goes off.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got to ask you a question. I read through this once.
Yes.
I didn't fully understand what was happening with some of it.
Yeah.
And, like, we won't get too deep into this because we want people to read it.
Yeah.
And I would recommend this. It's good.
Yeah.
It's not my favorite of these,
Right.
but I like I said, it's at the bottom, but
it's a top heavy.
But it's very level.
Top heavy.
It's very level.
Very
so
top heavy,
and that's just personal sensibility.
Yeah.
I don't fully understand the two worlds business.
That's the
because we're doing our
you know what
we're doing the absolute version of Flash of Two Worlds, which is
Right.
the other thing that makes it feel sorry, more like an authentic Flash thing, because none of the other ones that I can recall have gone to a classic story name.
Yeah, because that's, you know what that reminded me of? It just reminded me of like the Upside Down in Stranger Things. That's why I read that. I thought like, okay, that's what we're doing. We've got, you know, a ghost that's following him around now.
Yeah, so
we've got Barb somewhere in there.
So we do this whole thing where he is it's sort of like that that Kryptonite Superman book I was talking about, where he's experiencing multiple time periods and or dimensions at the same time.
Yeah.
And at first I thought he and Barry Allen, because the idea is his dad freaks out on Barry Allen because he thinks Barry Allen has gotten his son killed. Am I getting that right?
That's
It looks like he gets disintegrated in that room, and then when we come back with Wally, he's appeared maybe in another universe.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
I mean,
and he thinks Barry is dead. So the assumption I'm making is they're both in different worlds, thinking the other one is dead. But we haven't gotten back to But there's the corpse of Barry.
There's the corpse of Barry. But then, like, the dad's still chasing him in the present day? Because I know a lot of that takes place 1 year ago.
Yeah, there's a 1 year later thing that happens at the end of the first issue. I'm not fully following all of this yet.
Right.
And I don't know how much of it I'm supposed to follow at this point.
Yeah.
And we should mention, the first story arc is just 3 issues.
Yeah.
But I'm glad we read 5 because it didn't actually really feel like that story arc was done.
Yeah.
And it still doesn't.
Yeah. It's
not really.
You know, the one thing too with like almost said Ultimate, Absolute Wonder Woman is it was very much a defined story, and they even just, and part of it too is just like the placement of like the title card, where they even told you like, hey, this is issue 3 of 5, and when you got to the end, it felt like an ending. Here, it just seems like just a continuous. It's hard to tell where the actual arcs end, and
yet they're labeled.
They're labeled,
and we have a part 1 and part 2, 4, 4, and 5, and
then when you get to the end of like issue 5, it's like part 1, like, oh, okay, we're doing Heat Wave now.
Yeah,
and like
that was cool. He's just a Fantastic Four monster.
Just a Fantastic Four monster. Yeah, that's all. And that's kind of what it hinted at, that we're gonna see a lot more like reimaginings of like other rogues too, because you had like the scene where it's all the escaped, you know, projects.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because when the rogues as they're named, it's weird that they're called that already.
Yeah,
it's like you have a team of people called rogues before there is a Flash that they're the rogues of.
I was gonna say, it's also a very like highly trained, efficient military unit called the Rogues. Like, no, these are the opposite of rogues. These are like straight lawful, you know, lawful neutral here.
Well, I wasn't sure if they were independent mercenaries hired by the government. Yeah. Maybe that's how they're rogues.
Maybe, yeah.
And they're independently contracted, but they could stop anytime they. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really read that way because it does seem like they're kind of under a thumb. I'm not totally sure.
Right.
And again, I gave it 1 read over. Like I might be lost on some of that. But what I thought was curious about the rogues when they're first introduced is I'm looking at them and I'm like wondering where certain characters are.
Yeah.
Because like we've got Boomerang and we've got Captain Cold.
Yeah.
And
the Gold Glider.
Golden Glider's there. That's right. There's a couple others. And then I'm like, where's Weather Wizard and Mirror Master? And then and Heat Wave.
Yeah.
Heat Wave was the big one that I was wondering where he was with Captain Cold there. And then you get that reveal of some of those project names, and I'm like, oh, we've split them.
Yeah.
So what we've done is we've taken some of the ones anyway, that traditionally don't have powers, and made them mercenaries for the government.
Yeah.
and then we've taken the ones with am I reading this right?
That's
I think
what,
we've taken the ones that usually are super powered,
right,
and we've made them
the science monsters.
Experiments that genetic experiments that get their powers from the same place the Flash does.
Yeah.
And so now he's going to have this like direct connection to them.
Yeah.
Which I think is interesting, and it's also important to note that Wally West has this character thing where he keeps asking himself, "Am I a monster?" And like, what am I becoming? Which is also very Hulk, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
And so he's like, "What am I becoming?" Mm-hmm. And some of his rogues are also that way.
Yeah.
So we have that classic. The hero could easily have gone to the villain side when he gets his tragic power backstory.
Right.
What is different from what sets him apart that makes him go the hero's journey direction?
Yeah,
and so that all reads real classic.
You have like the
me.
dark reflections too. You know what my first thought was when I saw like the big reveal though. It ended up that a lot of the rogues, a lot of the villains were going to be part of like the same project, and I mean this was the actual like Flash TV show. Now that I kind of talk it out, kind of did this too with the actual what was it that exploded that gave Barry his powers in that show? That Thawne knocked. Crap, I can't remember it. But,
I don't remember.
Yeah, I can't remember it. That was like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
But the one thing I thought of when I saw that page, Meteor Freaks.
Oh yeah, of course.
The first thought, like, okay, you've had one event, you could get a bunch of villains from that one event.
No, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
That is what that's like.
I don't even have to say Smallville. We know.
Nicholas Bodo, I think they're supposed to be rogues. You have to here though. You have to call them Crypto Freaks.
Yeah.
Like we have like a trademark show.
That's fair. Yeah.
Nicholas Bodo, I think they're supposed to be rogues and how they were experimented on for Project Olympus. Yeah, but I don't think they're experimented on, are they?
Yeah,
the
impression I got was that they were just.
I thought they just had technology.
Yeah, that they had their freeze gun, they had their
boomerang has this cool
yeah.
boomerang thing.
Like I didn't get the impression that they were super powered, other than whoever that was with the big sphere on her head.
Who is that?
Yeah, I can't even like.
I don't even know what character.
They said her name was Jessie. I mean, we could probably.
That's a name I recognize.
Yeah,
because I think that character is in the Flash TV show.
It's like Jessie Quick. Is that
Maybe that's who that is.
Yeah.
But why does she have a dome head? And why is Catwoman gonna have a dome head? What is it with absolute and dome heads?
You gotta have those dome heads.
I don't understand that.
Yeah. I do
Nicholas Bodo, it's confirmed Heatwave at least was. Yeah, I know, but Heatwave is from that project. What we're talking about is so the mercenary team calls themselves the Rogues, and then you have all these other characters that were in the laboratory. That's what we're talking about. They're not called the Rogues.
No, yeah, they're just
so again, we've split the Rogue characters into two separate things.
Yeah. And I mean, it's just weird too.
It is cool that you have all these characters already, but again, Absolute keeps doing that, which is part of what makes it read like these don't necessarily want to be more than 20, 30 issues.
Right,
like,
they're just trying to get through as many names as they can, and
so it's an efficient way to do it.
There's a way to do it where it's good. There's a way
Batman's doing it the opposite way, where it's making a lot of his rogues friends first.
And
then this goes, they're bad guys even before he gets there, and already a team. Like, that team predates him.
Yeah. So that's like the weird thing too, because again, I'm sure they're gonna go back.
Sorry. Tyler says that's supposed to be Trickster. Is it a female Trickster?
It could be, yeah. I mean, that's...
Okay.
Didn't even think about that. It could be. I mean, it...
And then what are we setting up Thawne to be in this? Because I didn't get any grasp on him.
Yeah.
His name came up a couple times. I wasn't sure what we were doing.
Well, there's also, like, an Eleanor Thawne, too, who pops up who's like
that's right.
Yeah, who just has, like, a bit part who's, like, an assistant or something for his dad.
Yeah, but she seemed kind of creepy.
Yeah, there's something up with her, yeah. So, I mean, there's probably more to that than... I mean, that's probably gonna build to something.
And there was, like it feels like there's a lot of balls in the air.
Yeah.
Which have a lot of question marks.
Yeah.
Which is cool because like I'm believing enough in it that it'll all work out.
Yeah.
It's hard to review because I don't know what's happening yet.
And I think part of that is by design. I think part of it too is just to throw so much at you. So,
but it feels like it's not getting as much done in 5 issues as say Wonder Woman did.
Yes,
which is weird because it also feels simple and straightforward enough, and yet I have no idea what's going on. So I guess it isn't.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe it's just because we have a real, like understandable, simple character we're following.
Yes.
So our eyes in makes so much sense,
right,
and is relatable enough that I'm not even bothered by how I have no idea what's happening.
Yeah, and
not no idea.
Right, and I don't mind that too because it does feel like somewhat intentional, or even if it doesn't feel as intentional as it should be, you at least get the idea that you're supposed to be overwhelmed because, again, like looking at even just the art on the page, it throws a lot at you. Even when you're just like, hey, this kid's just running. He's just running going, hey, what's happening?
Yeah.
I mean, just the way the art is, just what the page layouts are, it feels intense. It feels like there's so much, like, hitting you. And even from, like, the first page, it's like, wait, what is going on? What's happening? Help. So, I mean, at least the parts where you're having a hard time keeping up, at least the parts where something new happens and you're trying to figure out, it doesn't feel as frustrating as it could be. It doesn't feel like as... Because there are times where writers will try to set up a mystery and it just doesn't work. But at least it feels like...
I'm curious about all of this.
Yeah, exactly. It makes me want to keep reading. I've not been frustrated to the point of, like, rage quitting the book.
And it's confident just like the other books are.
Yeah.
Where it's a little experimental, maybe not as much as some of those others.
Yeah.
It's trying some seemingly kind of odd things, but it knows where it's going.
It does, yeah.
Like, it's not worried about
and
it.
I think that makes all the difference, too. That at least, even if you don't know what's happening, at least the writer does.
Dan Schneider, Chris, I guess some people are saying Absolute Superman is a teenager. Do you buy that thoughts? I guess he doesn't care what I think about that.
Do I care? Well, I can kind of see that. He's definitely a younger Superman.
I don't think he's a teenager.
I don't think he's a teenager.
Because he was a teenager on Krypton?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure some time has passed, and he's...
I need to go back and actually, because out of all the Absolute books...
And this is nitpicky. Maybe he's like 18. I mean, you know what I mean? Maybe he's
he's
like early 20s, and he might as well be a teenager.
Yeah.
But he's not as young as Wally West here.
No, yeah, he's not.
Wally West is like
15.
13, 14. Like, is he 15?
Well, they at least say in like the present day bits that he's 15.
Okay.
Because when they're
when we first meet him, he's a little younger.
Yeah, and when they're like,
or not when we first meet him, but by the way, the non-linear is working okay in this.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm usually irritated when we open a book with this in medias res and then we go a few days earlier.
Yeah,
but here it works because he's experiencing all these different time periods at the same time, and so you're getting it from him, and you got a Memento situation,
right?
Austin, he's probably 18 to 24. I agree.
Yeah.
Dan Schneider, I directed the question at both of you. You said I get it. I'm an idiot. Because you went the at Geekvolution thing and Chris. He was being nice and including you. That's what it was.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I'm so used to seeing targeted messages like that I ignore the target part.
Right.
I'm sorry, Dan. I'm an asshole. It's fine.
Well, a lot of... any...
Chris is not even disagreeing with that.
I'm just gonna go over here to my... But it's like anything too, unless it's like super specific.
Chewbacca's lover, I get that.
Yeah,
he said people were correcting us that Flash is the first half. Yeah, no, I understand that's why you said that.
Yeah,
but I just don't agree. I think I don't think he. But even if he if he is, this reads like a classic, like Spider-Man Marvel-esque.
Yeah,
like teenager archetype,
right? And like
Superman is an alien from another planet that remembers being an alien from another. It's different,
exactly. Yeah. And like Superman's one of those cases too where it's comic book aging. Like he could be anywhere from like he could be like 18 to 24 too. It just anywhere in that window. Like how
you say that they might, but at some point. I can see Jason Aaron just straight up giving us his age.
Yeah, exactly. So. I think, didn't they do that with Batman too? Didn't they say he's like 26 or?
Yeah, we got an age for him.
Yeah, because I know they said they
also gave us his exact height,
which was 6'9",
6'9",
420, 421, 4. He's like, "This is not going all the way." He's just,
I freaking loved that.
Yeah, which I think like. First of all, aside from him being 6'9", that's like... Okay, I'm going to talk about pro wrestling less on this channel someday, I swear. But that's like the height of The Undertaker. That's like the height of Kevin Nash. That is one of those things like humans probably shouldn't be. So, I mean, I think Andre the Giant was like 7'8".
I didn't have this thought before, but right. You know why I think Snyder might have done that?
Why is that?
Well, because this is a Batman that, for like the first time ever, didn't come from money.
Yeah.
So the way you make him, you give him like an immutable characteristic that just puts him apart from everyone else that he can't help.
Yeah.
Is you make it genetic.
Yes. Yeah.
So that makes sense. So
right.
He's genetically rich.
Yeah.
In a way, he's not monetarily rich.
Exactly. Yeah, I can see that.
And then that's where the excess comes from.
Right.
So it's like Batman has to have excess in some way.
Some way.
He has an excess in might and height and strength and
got Andre the Giant here. Andre the Batman here.
Gargantuanness.
He's gonna go. He's going to go fight the Dread Pirate Roberts.
He's also not broke. He's got that big-ass tank that he, drives his own house
driving
around.
His own, monster truck around. Take a gravedigger to go fight
no, it's like 9 gravediggers, okay?
Yeah.
He could move in a family of 12.
He could, yeah.
Into his car.
Just driving around an oil rig.
Tyler, they said Krypton exploded 6 years ago. Oh, well, if that's the case, he has to be at least 18. Yeah. Because when you see him on Krypton, there's no way he's younger than 12. Yeah. And he's probably more like 13, 14.
Right. So
if that's true, we have proved it, and
there we go.
Don't want to talk about it.
With math.
Exactly. He's at least 18, if not probably 20.
Yeah. I guess Absolute Batman is 24.
24.
I knew it was like 20. I think in year 1 he's 26.
You got it wrong, Chris. So you lose and you get nothing.
I guess so. He awards me no points.
Good day, sir.
Good day. I said good day.
Something I was having with this art, I don't know if you had this. It was also reminding me in places a lot of Invincible.
I could see
which
that,
might be partly why I'm thinking cartoon show, and obviously like Invincible the comic as much as the show.
Does
the
have
show looks
Ryan
like the comic.
Kind of, yeah. It does look that little.
There are places where his dad looks like Invincible's dad to me.
Right.
I was having that. I don't know if I've got a good panel to show that off, but
he does have Omni-Man vibes.
I really liking the panel layouts. The kind of like odd experimental panel layouts,
right? Where
we use the kind of Speed Force to break up the panels.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And
Absolute seems to be all about, and I think this is true across the board, all about the full comic page as a piece of art.
Yeah,
they've really got that nailed all the way through.
Which I do appreciate too.
Oh, of course.
A lot of comics just forget you could do stuff with the panels. That's actually a storytelling device. And even like you look at like Watchmen or the Tom King Mr. Miracle, where you have that like solid 9-panel grid which tells the story in its own way too. Like you could do a lot just with the boxes on the page that I don't think a lot of writers and a lot of artists realize.
Well, I'm not saying we don't still do that, but I'm impressed that across the board they really nail that.
Yeah, and that's why I'm just appreciating too the fact that they're remembering.
It's like that Batwoman thing.
Exactly, yeah.
What do you think of Grodd as a Hanna-Barbera sidekick monkey?
I can't not love that. I can't. There's a part of me that I
he's gonna get big and twisted evil at some point, right?
Obviously, yeah.
Like, are we doing that?
It's bound to happen. And there's like little bits where he's like run off on his own, and it's just. But
if we don't, I'll be more irritated by the kind of fake out we do.
Right.
Did you have that?
You know,
where there's a place that's like, oh, get Grodd, and then it's this
bleak.
page
It's
where
bleak.
well, that's true, but there's this bit where
Yeah.
Boomerang is like, get Grodd, and then you get to the bottom of the page and you see his, or whoever it is that says that,
Right.
And you see like what looks like for a second a menacing face.
Yeah,
I think,
yeah.
oh, we were gonna get like a scary gorilla Grodd,
Right.
and then it turns out that it's this. Alien monkey-looking creature that we actually saw earlier that we didn't know was Grodd, and we should have known it. I didn't put that panel in,
Right.
because he has an exposed brain.
Yeah.
So like we should have known that.
Yeah. I do like how they communicate psychically too. Like they can kind of talk to each other.
No, that's cool. And
Yeah.
actually, that part of it, I didn't have this thought until now, but reminds me a little bit of like Why the Last Man. But
I can see that.
but anyway, I only like that if it ends up being the tragic friend turned foe.
Yeah, I can see.
I
that.
need the sidekick to become one of the big villains.
Yeah.
And that's been a question I've had all the way through Absolute is,
Right.
will all of the villains that so far have been friends to our hero end up being destined to be bad guys, or
Yeah.
will we allow some of them to stay in the friend
Right.
camp? I don't know yet. I'm assuming all of Batman's friends will become enemies later.
Yeah, his poker buddies.
We've already done it with one, and I'm assuming they'll all do it.
Yeah.
There's no way at least Penguin is not going to be a bad guy.
Yeah.
But I'm not totally sure with this, but I want to read that business of get Grodd as foreshadowing and not just,
fake
we're
out.
psyching you out. 'Cause
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
Grodd's supposed to be big and scary.
Right. So, I mean, I'm interested to see where it goes. I'm interested in just, seeing how if they do just keep him as Gleek.
Chewbacca's Lover says in switching characters, villains. Yes, but okay, so this is going to be spoilers for Superman, but this book has been out long enough, and we've had Brainiac in there long enough that I feel like it's late enough in the game to talk about this, and most everybody here will have already read this stuff or knows about it. So if you don't want to know about the villain stuff going on in Absolute Superman, turn us off now. We're right at the end of the show anyway.
Yeah.
But because I don't think I've gotten to talk about this yet. Can I tell you what my theory was? And I say what my theory was because I think I'm wrong about it now.
Right.
But have I told you my thing? Again, spoilers with Superman. Yeah. Do you know about the Batman villain that is a Superman villain in Absolute? Do you know about this?
I think so.
Oh,
go ahead and spoil
maybe
it.
I shouldn't spoil
Yeah,
it.
go ahead, man.
Are you sure?
I'm in.
There's this gigantic reveal in 5 or 6. I forget which issue it is. And by the way, I'm not caught up on Absolute Superman right now. So Austin has said there's a minor thing or two that makes it seem like I'm probably wrong about this, but he says it's still not impossible. I could be right about this.
Yeah.
So everybody is flipping out because Brainiac's our big bad in that, but Brainiac is, I think he's teamed up with this character. I need to go back and I've been reading so much stuff lately that I'm not remembering everything.
Right.
But there's this gigantic reveal that we have a giant mastermind in that book that is Ra's al Ghul.
I think I did hear that, yeah.
And it's the only thing I think we've done in these books like this where we've taken somebody else's villain and made it a major villain for somebody else.
Right.
My theory was that's sort of what we're doing.
Yeah.
But he's not just Ra's al Ghul. He's also Zod. That was my theory.
I could see that. Yeah,
and I had two pieces of very anecdotal evidence to support this. Okay, one of them is we see in the flashbacks toward the beginning 1 or 2 panels with the Zod symbol in the Kryptonian language. Zod's gonna be in there somewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
So you remember the House of L symbol in this continuity dictates the people that are on a lower level of the social ladder.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
I do, yeah.
The Zods are at the top.
So yeah, I could definitely.
And so we got the Z's and the S's.
Right.
And that makes me think we got to do something with Zod.
Yeah.
The other thing is, in his first line of dialogue, he says "kneel,"
Yeah.
and I went, "Oh, he's gonna be Zod." Yeah, and so everybody's like, "Oh, you used a Batman villain." Like, yeah, but it's gonna be a fake out thing where it's Zod and the Lazarus Pit is gonna be Kryptonian technology or something.
Right.
And
Which
I don't know.
would be a cool, twist. I mean,
I think so too. Yeah. I don't know if I'm right about it.
Right.
And again, apparently, if I read the next couple issues, I will think I'm less right about this.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of holding out hope. That's what it is.
I mean, that would
because I think that's really cool.
It is, yeah. And the books are at their best when they kind of subvert and when they kind of connect things in interesting ways. At least like the Flash and Superman is, I think they found some interesting ways to take parts of the DC universe and tie them together in like really creative ways. And so yeah, I support this.
Austin
says
he doesn't think Ra's is a Superman villain at this point. He's the Justice League villain that will unite all of them, because apparently different villains are working from different books are working with Ra's, which I had not put together yet. And because Austin says Joker, Brainiac, and Fawn all work for him or with him, and that will probably go for Hector Hammond and Veronica Cale too. But the fact that he's introduced in Superman, makes me think it's still possible that he'll end up being two villains at the same time.
And that'd be cool.
Because he can be a Superman villain and still be the big Justice League. Now, I'm probably wrong about it.
Right.
But it is so weird to me that you would have him say "kneel" the first time you see him.
Yeah.
And that's not intentional. And it's in Superman.
If you know one thing about Zod, you know that line.
So I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But
Number
we'll
two
see.
is like, you'll suffer, Jor-El, your heirs.
If not, you and then your heirs.
Your heirs.
Exactly. What else do you want to say about Absolute Flash?
R.I.P. Terrence Stamp, by the way.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Just a couple days ago. It's so sad.
It is, yeah. Honestly, too, like, it's a good book. I enjoyed it. I think there's a lot, but again, it is up against like the cream of the crop of DC right now too. So, but I think it actually kind of stands on its own in a really interesting way. Like, both this and like Absolute Martian Manhunter found really interesting things to do with the art. And while I think you have like Wonder Woman that really, which, I mean, that's a gorgeous book. But that also was very like rock solid storytelling, and then you have like this and Martian Manhunter where they kind of, I don't want to say they ignore the writing, I don't want to say that they're poorly written, but the things that really make those books stand out to me is the visuals.
Visually,
so
the visuals, yeah, absolutely,
yeah,
and they're both well written.
Yeah,
what's interesting is Martian Manhunter is and somewhat intentionally overwritten.
Yes, yeah.
I'm not even saying that's a bad thing.
Right.
And Flash is
kind
kind of underwritten.
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, it kind of gives you some variety. So we haven't read Green Lantern yet.
Right.
And it doesn't look like Green Lantern is even going to be suggestive for us next time, which is shocking. I might read it on its own just so that, I've sampled them all. But what would be your ranking so far for these? Like, I wonder if you're in the same place I am or if you have a different ranking.
I kind of like, when I first read Martian Manhunter, I really liked it. It really blew me away. But actually, like, but I mean, having actually sat down and read Wonder Woman, like,
I was blown away by the premise.
Yeah.
And it has not been my favorite to read. Like, it's not the page turner some of these
exactly,
are,
yeah, but it's,
for me.
But again, that's a book with strong visuals. I need to actually sit down and spend more time with, like, because Absolute Superman, because other than like Green Lantern, that's the one I've read like the least of. But I'm gonna have to, like, as of right now at least, because my favorite anything changes by the day with my mood. But I'd give Wonder Woman the top spot. Probably Martian Manhunter, like, right. Either Batman or Martian Manhunter, I'd probably switch between. I'd probably put the Flash under it for right now, just of the four I've actually spent time with. I kind of feel like Batman and Martian Manhunter should be tied for, like, completely different reasons. And
oh, interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of feel like they both do great they both do opposite things equally as well. At least that's my thought. And Flash, I mean, again, it's not a bad book. Again, like, there's so much that's really good about it, and there's so much I really enjoyed, but it also doesn't feel as, like...
It's not going to stick with me like some of these others.
Exactly, yeah. And it's not the huge reinvention that the other books have been. And you're right, too, how, yeah, Wonder Woman was so different, even if the core character was the same. Martian Manhunter is barely like a Martian Manhunter book.
Yeah.
And this was it's a solid Flash story, even if it's, a couple details are different, too.
I'll go as far as to say Martian Manhunter, if you just changed John Jones' name.
Yeah. It'd be a different book. It'd be different.
Well, yeah. What I was going to say is, like, it's distinct enough you could get away with publishing it in Image.
Yes. I would agree with that.
I'm going to go that far.
Yeah, I would, yeah.
Austin says his ranking is Wonder Woman, Manhunter, Superman, Flash, Batman, and Green Lantern. And again, we haven't read Green Lantern yet, so I'm curious to see if I would put it under Flash, because Flash is at my bottom right now. And again, it's mostly just taste stuff, right?
Yeah.
I'm not going to remember it as well in a week as some of the rest of these, which is part of what I'm basing it on. But I'm with him on Wonder Woman. That's at the top, and by like a wide margin. Yeah. It's so freaking good. But Batman is still second to me.
That's fair. Yeah.
And again, I don't mean to be a broken record, but I've never had this experience of hating every idea individually.
Yeah, exactly.
But you put all the puzzle pieces together and it just works.
It's very much greater than the sum of its parts.
I've never had that experience with anything. If I rattle off the stuff it does, it sounds so freaking stupid.
Yeah.
And then
they died at the zoo.
And then third is like a toss-up between Superman and Martian Manhunter for me, but I think with Brainiac and like some of the mysteries going on, I'm probably putting it over Martian Manhunter at this point.
Yeah,
which I feel weird about because I've been going out of my way to buy those and not all of Superman, and I think it's just because of the covers and the art, right?
That's fair. Yeah, no,
and then Manhunter is second,
right?
From the bottom, and then Flash is at the bottom.
Yeah. I mean, that's
not even the order in which I would buy issues.
It's weird because, like, there's so much about, again, like, Absolute Batman.
And I'm with Austin, but I have the same thing. But I don't dislike any of the books. I'm liking all of the ones I've read so far.
It's very much like, it's very much the bottom of the top. It's very much like, yeah, this might not be my favorite of this batch, but it's still, like, better than anything else I read.
If you're doing a ranked list, your bottom book is in B tier, maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're doing that whole thing.
Right. So, and again, too, like, the Absolute books are so weird, and I know we've said this like a billion different times, but
look, it's not our fault. People keep forcing us to read them.
But they're weird in, like, interesting ways, too, and it's hard to even say...
We're going to finish up, I swear to God.
Yeah, we are. So, but it's hard to even say, like, this is, oh, this is the book I'm going to follow. This is the book I really like and my favorite, because there's so many aspects of it that I don't want to say they're uneven, but there's parts... They have strengths.
What's really cool is before they're even crossing very much, when you read all of them, like, they actually feel like they're meant to be all read. What's cool is any of them so far anyway, like, they all stand alone, and you can read them all separately.
Right.
But like I said, the more of them I read, the more I appreciate all of the others. They're really complimentary.
Yeah, I mean, and they kind of...
It feels by design,
yeah.
It's kind of brilliant, and I don't even know how they managed it.
And especially when they're so...
Because it feels like they told every creator you can do anything you want to, and we're not going to hold you to anything. But it feels like they had to have been in a writer's room together to decide what all the differences in difference in genres would be, because... How else do you end up with no two of them feels very much like the other?
Yeah.
That's really impressive.
Exactly, yeah. And, I mean, it's just weird because especially, like, this book that was there were a lot of horror elements, but it's still a superhero book. There were a lot of, there were horror elements of Wonder Woman too. But then you have like Batman. It's like, okay, we're going to tell this story that's very street level, but it also has like, he's got an axe on his chest. He's got a stick he puts in his chest and it becomes an axe. And it's
Batman and Wonder Woman are, I think, indisputably the most anime inspired.
Yes. Oh yeah, I agree with that.
But in some ways, Batman more so.
Well, and I know I said last week my first thought reading Wonder Woman was, this is Berserk. Berserk is quietly one of the most influential like comics out there, and it's. But again, too, like anime has exploded in the last few years, and that's part of the feedback loop now, and that's part of our modern like cultural context. So pulling from it, it's be hard not to pull from it and stay relevant.
So we've got to get going. Let me mention these couple comments real quick. People were telling us that there's a reveal that apparently Ra's al Ghul has been around for 200 years, and that would maybe make it difficult for him to be Zod.
Yeah.
Unless we do a thing where there's two ways they could do it.
Yeah.
I'm probably not right about this. That's probably not what it is. But the way it could still be Zod is either there is more of a time displacement with the destruction of Krypton than anybody realizes, but I gotta go back and read it and see how much evidence there is as to exactly when it exploded versus when Superman got here.
Right.
And the second thing, so it's probably not that. I'm admitting. And then the other thing is, this is absolute. They can do whatever they want to. Zod doesn't have to have existed at the same time that Drell did.
That's true.
Because we don't have a Zod yet. He was not. He was not mentioned just with the letter. He wasn't mentioned on Krypton. He might not have been there. It might be an earlier version of him.
Yeah.
I also doubt it's that, but I'm just saying it could be. And then Nicholas Bodo says, also, Cap, I think Roz is more this universe's Lex Luthor than he is Zod. I mean, sure, character-wise, but that doesn't mean he's not Zod.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, we're reinventing all these characters. He could seem like a Lex, but literally be Zod. Like, that's not evidence against him being Zod.
Right. I mean, look, we remember Amalgam when they put Doctor Strange, Dr. Fate, and Professor X in like a character too.
Remember that?
It could be three things, yeah.
Yeah, Doctor Strange Fate that is also Professor X, it turns out.
Yeah.
When he takes that helmet off and it's Professor X, it blew my freaking mind.
I know, right? I remember like being a little kid, be like, no, that's more than three things. I don't like that. This against the rules.
Yeah, that's not a mashup.
It's not a mashup, but I kept reading, so hey.
Okay, so our super chat winner for tonight is, I think, still possibly Dylan. Dan Schneider had a 5 to 7, so he had $7 total. Chewbacca's Lover did a $2. Am I looking at this right? I think it's still Dylan.
Might be, yes. That's
yeah. Yeah, because Dylan put in a 10. Thanks, Dylan. So Dylan. Remind me what he said he wanted me to do. And it scrolled down too far. He mentioned a book. I'll have to go back and look later. Does anybody in the comments right now remember the book he mentioned? Because it was something I hadn't heard of. Did you remember?
Not fan. Oh, was it? Oh, it was Was it
Geiger?
Geiger? Yeah.
Geiger? Is that what that was called?
I think it was Geiger.
Who did he say that was by?
Was it by Jeff Johns?
He said Jeff Johns.
Jeff Johns.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Thanks. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Yes, Geiger by Jeff Johns. That's what you have to. So I got to write that down someplace.
Yeah, I don't even know. Like,
I'm assuming that's probably an Image thing, or maybe he's got an imprint that I don't know about.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I'm gonna write it down, and then I'm gonna review it next week. And if Chris is here, he will also. Oh, you know what? I say next week. We will not have this show next week. It'll be the week after, because next week we're doing the movie preview for some of our Super Chat supporters and cast and crew and stuff.
Right. I was looking at.
So, apologies, we won't be here for this show next week. We're going to have a weird next couple of weeks with the movie coming up. But we will be back the week after that.
Yeah.
I might try to sneak it in somewhere, but I probably won't. I really like this Tuesday to Wednesday thing.
Yeah.
So we may just I think we'll probably just skip it.
Right.
Austin says John's does have an imprinted image. Oh, weird.
Huh.
I didn't know that. And he says that's the first book you launched. Okay. Well, that's what we'll do next time.
Sounds good.
So we'll see if Chris can come back next time. I'll definitely be here in 2 weeks. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Yeah.
That'll give me time to read a bunch of Spawn. No, I probably won't do that. I probably won't do that.
You know, you should do an entire year of Spawn comics.
You know, that's a novel notion.
I know, yeah.
It's cool. I don't know why I didn't think it. I never thought to do that.
Yeah, never. It's so weird.
All right, guys, thanks for watching. I know these just keep getting longer, but I'm really enjoying it.
I'm having fun, hey.
Chris, you're great, man. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you having me here.
Thanks for being here, folks. We'll see you again next time. I was Captain Logan. Did we forget anything? Did we do everything?
So, no.
Did we do all our crap?
I think we did our crap.
Oh, good. Thanks for being here, folks. I was Captain Logan. This was Chris.
Bye, everyone.